and they should be able to hear us. Spicy.
Oh God.
Oh God.
This is
what
Odo says. I hear you.
Yeah, and Brian, I'm not listening to Odo. It's been too long. But what's up, guys? Welcome to this month's episode of the Predcast, right? We're gonna put it that way.
This quarter.
Yeah.
Quarters Predcast.
Hey man, we're bringing another Predcast. What's up, guys? I am actually, you know what? We're about to go through our intros. We had a lot to talk about. Quite a bit of catching up to do. So we got a couple things to mention. We got the full release officially happened. We have 1.1 coming around the corner. We got new original Predecessor heroes, as well as a Halloween event around the corner. We're gonna dive into it. We'll have some spicy chats here and there. We'll engage with the chat. For those of you that do not know, these are hosted live on the Bearded Wolverines channel, and then we do upload them to YouTube after the fact. Pay attention to the details here later on. But as far as timing goes, I'll be real with you guys. We're just kind of making it up as we go right now. We're trying to figure out some sort of consistent schedule. So we're just gonna go for this quarter's Predcast episode for now. Let's get our intros going. If we could, just the order I see on my screen, let's do F6, then Pinzo, then Bearded, then myself. Tell everybody a little bit about you.
Yep, I'm F6, guys. I play Pred on Twitch, and I cast over at the PCC and some other tournaments. Then you can also catch me over here on Predcast. But speaking of PCC, we have our Swiss stage this weekend, so make sure you guys tune in. It's gonna be epic. Sad we couldn't get the Halloween map just in time for it, but hopefully for the main stage, I think that'll be pretty dope.
That would be spicy, bro.
Yeah, I'm Pinzo. I also stream a lot of Predecessor, upload a bunch of Predecessor YouTube videos, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, excited for Predcast. Excited for our first Predcast in like 6 weeks. It's been too long. It's been way too long.
It's been 6, bro?
About 6 weeks.
Yeah,
It's been a while.
It was before 1.0, so before August 20th.
Scheduling conflicts were a big thing there. So, but we'll get back to it. We'll figure it out. We'll get where we need to be. Pinzo, real quick before we move on to my introduction, you had a video that you posted not too long ago about hot takes. You asked the community for hot takes.
I did.
The funny part is the majority of that video was you telling people these aren't hot takes. So I think next video you should be like, all right,
people were bad at
what a hot take is. This is what a hot take is.
Well, I feel like people know what a hot take is. They're just posting cold ass takes. They don't,
because they're all cold takes. Not all. There were some hot takes out there, but it was a good video. Great job on that. I'm interested to now that that video's out there and people understand what a hot take should be by now. I'm interested if you can do another one and see where that comes from.
I'll get another one some point.
Yeah. It was a good video though. Great job on that. What's going on, everybody? It is me, the Bearded Wolverine, your Michigan Wonder. Excited to be here. Episode 68. We got episode 69 around the corner. We don't know what quarter that's going to fall in, but we'll figure it out and we'll get that going. But as for myself, I stream Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, Thursdays on Twitch. Mondays are normally college footballs. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays are Predecessor mixed with college football at the end there on Thursdays. Again, excited to be here to finally talk Predecessor with these guys again. I feel like we're getting the band back together. It's been a while, so can't wait. On to you, Windu.
All right, it's like a weird class reunion sort of deal up in here. What's up, guys? I am Windu, also known as Windu the Mace. I essentially make Predecessor content, stream Predecessor typically on the weekends nowadays. Upload a couple clips here and there. For those of you that go to Omega.city and look up builds, you'll probably see a bunch of my builds on there, just kind of spread throughout. But side note, episode 69, we got to get Robbie in here, right?
Oh,
I mean,
right?
I already have one other guest lined up for episode 69. They
true.
Asked for it. But I mean, if Robbie's available, I'm all about getting Robbie on. We are working with Robbie. It's just the availability didn't work, and we just like, hey, we have to get an episode of these guys to you as a community. So we're doing one without Robbie right now. But that was another reason why we missed the last 2 weeks, because we were trying to make it work with Robbie, and then also Windu was out of town. So it's like, all right, we can't do this week. So it's like, all right, we're just gonna do one right here without Robbie, and we'll get back to it.
Yeah, Robbie, roll with you. That
Robbie is coming.
I felt so bad right there whenever you guys were like, you know what, fine, let's just do a Predcast. Let's do Wednesday. I'm like, bro, I'm in Colorado on Wednesday. Why this week? Like, yeah, we couldn't do this like 3 weeks ago. Like, what the fuck? So I was like, okay, all right, my bad, guys. So one of the weeks is definitely because of me. Y'all heard it here. But so where do we start as far as subjects go?
Let's just go full release, right? But that was the most recent thing.
Okay.
I'm sorry, the most recent thing. That was the thing that we left off at, pretty much left off with. So full release happened. All right. So we had the whole our whole last episode was talking full release and how 24/7 rank had to be a thing, right? So full release.
Not everybody said that.
This is what it is. I'm saying that's what people said. All right. That's what had to happen. All right. So here we are. Full release happens. The game comes out. The Xbox finally gets their note. You know, people know that it's on Xbox now. People can play on Xbox. I would love to see this is something that hasn't happened. I would love to see some numbers from a meta, like what our like since full release. These are the accounts that again. I would love to see console. Like I don't think they're gonna be able to divide it up between Xbox and PlayStation. But like, how many console accounts have been created since full release? I would love to see that number, like, or something like that, to kind of give us an idea, like, what we're getting for engagement.
Monarch says 69 million. You're welcome. I'll throw a little 2 cents on there as far as the full release go. I see them being slick, throwing out the 2 million players for the trailer and everything, which I do think the Gamescom trailer was actually really cool. I really liked it. Main event stage sort of deal. I really thought they were gonna be like, hey, you know what? We're paying for like the 15-second trailer before the main event, like one of those, like hey, we're playing 3 trailers back to back. But yeah, I was actually shocked to see them on main stage, and I genuinely enjoyed the trailer, and I thought the 2 million players was a nice little flex to throw in there, right?
Yeah. The trailer was good for how it happened. For those of you who don't know, they were working with a third-party company to create a what's the word I'm looking for? The type of trailer it is, a cinematic trailer for the game. And like a week before it was supposed to happen, that third-party company backed out. Said it was too hard of a task. They thought they were able to do it. They backed out. So then this is trailer you watch for Gamescom. This was Steggs and his crew, like working together and you know, putting one together as best they can, like with a week. Well, basically a week of preparation. That's it. So
really,
yeah.
Oh,
so,
bro, I don't know where I've been. I didn't know that.
For knowing that information, it's a really good trailer, right? If you don't know that information, you look at it, it's like, okay, they could have improved better, right? But I mean, it's. They were stuck between a rock and a hard place, and his team did a really good job knocking this out in the time frame they were given.
I think what a lot of people didn't do is look at it from a new player perspective. So like, obviously we've seen every single trailer, so we know it's a mix of trailers in there, right? But from a new player perspective, somebody that hasn't seen it, right? That's what they're trying to push off into that event. I think it was a great trailer. Some people don't like the song choice, but I mean, that's preference. But altogether, I think it did exceptionally well for what it was trying to convey.
Yeah, no, and again, I that's the new player. I agree. I 100% agree with you. For new players, it did what it was supposed to do. The cinematic trailer was going to be something that was going to tie in new players, but it also would have been something great for us current players that have been playing, and it didn't work out, right? Things happen, you know. That's as somebody that's been following these pair of zombies for a while, I know how these third parties, like with Fault had the same issue with some third party companies. Fault was supposed to have a third party company have a HUD created for them, like, and then the HUD they didn't create the HUD.
Got there.
Communication can get weird. Yep.
Their own, you know, and it's like shit happens. So I understand. Like me as a follower like this, like I follow these things thoroughly. Like you have some people that are just the casual gamers that aren't going to be looking at the patch notes. They're not going to be looking at this stuff. They're just going to see a post on Twitter or whatever, like, oh, watch that video. Like, okay, and then they're not going to feel like it's up to par or whatever sometimes, and shit happens. But again, knowing if you didn't know, Steggs and his crew only had a week to make this, you're gonna look at it like that's a subpar video. But knowing they only had a week to do it, they did a great job. So
Yeah, bro, I'm impressed.
Eggs and crew, like, great job.
And I got to say, we do have even the PCC staff included. We got some heavy hitters as far as trailer creation goes. There's some dope trailers out there. And
yeah, and
go ahead.
I was just gonna add on to your point. I mean, I do agree. Like, there's a lot of people community wise there to make trailers. And I think if they had more time to be like, hey, do you guys want to help us make a trailer? I'm pretty sure that would have been an option. But I mean, like what Bearded said, a week. I'm not calling anybody for a week. We got a bunch of stuff to do. Can't sign NDAs, all that stuff.
Yeah,
so.
Maybe if they had 2 weeks, they'd have. Well, who is the guy for PCC? I can't remember his name right now.
Volume.
Volume. Yeah, maybe if they did have 2 weeks, you get a hold of Volume, and then you also have that Sharks XD. Yeah. Like those two right there. Put those two together with Stegs and his crew. I would love to see what they could do. I think they should do it anyways. I mean, maybe not for obviously Gamescom's over with, but like just get them to work together and see what they can do as a community trailer or whatever, something like that. I would love to see the outcome of that. Nah,
bro, just put them both like Call of Duty Studios. One trailer's being made while the other one's getting released, so you just got constant trailers circling between the two.
I'm all about that too. I'm all about that, because I mean, the more advertisement and the more trailers that they're able to put out, it's entertaining for us as a community, current community, but then it's also good advertisement for new players. So I'm all about something like that.
Ooh,
but
real quick question that got asked in the chat, and we're probably gonna hit on this subject multiple times throughout, but worth mentioning it out there. He's asking how. Mr. Sapio is asking how we can find out player numbers on other systems like consoles and stuff like that. A lot of people look at Steam charts, and unfortunately there's just no reliable way for anybody to look at console numbers unless you're a dev at this point, and it's just an unknown. But it has been confirmed that console player base is significantly larger than the PC player base.
Yeah, I don't think Epic even releases. I think
no,
like
Epic
Omega might be able to like get that information from Epic, but like there's no way. Like Epic doesn't have an Epic charts or Steam charts or whatever, like what the stuff like that. There's no Epic charts out there for us as a community to see, and I don't think any of the consoles do it either. So so there's the only way, like it's up to Omega to have that information. If they want to release that, then they could release that stuff like that, but I don't see them doing that.
Yeah, I think at most you're looking at maybe 20% of the player base from Steam. I mean, you're not
I think that number, I think the percentage goes down weekly. I think console becomes a larger percent weekly.
Yeah.
I think we lose more PC players than we lose console players.
And I think
you might be right.
That is PC has a lot more MOBAs to go through, right? Like, console really
bigger market to target.
Smite, like Smite. Maybe Paladins, I guess. But like if they want a traditional MOBA, I mean, they pretty much just have Smite and Predecessor. So, I mean, that's just.
And Smite hasn't had a real update in 10 months.
Is Smite 2 out yet?
It's in
technically
testing stages.
Alpha.
24/7 alpha, but on console or no?
No,
PC
only.
PC? Okay. So literally console players are stuck with playing a Smite that's not being
they're playing dead game Smite that basically is a dropped game from high res, or they can play Pred, and that's about it.
Got you.
Which I saw a high res post this morning about like their studio, and I want to say in the post I read that they are aiming for 2025 full release, right?
Something like that. I don't know when their full release plan is. They announced yesterday that they laid off a bunch of people at Res.
I'm focusing on Smite too.
Because they dumpstered their game, man. I'm gonna keep it 100. The fact that they just basically stopped updating Smite 1 and focused all on Smite 2, and Smite 2 is not it. That shit needed some more time in the oven. I would be real, right? Like, you guys know me. I suck off Smite more than anybody else who plays Pred. Right?
Interesting sentence.
Yeah, I know you guys like to comment on it.
Definitely more than me.
I'm just saying.
Because I need 0.
Smite 2 needed a lot more time in the oven. They needed to keep Smite 1 going. But there's a bunch of really good people from high res looking for jobs right now.
That's true.
Throwing that out there.
Coming from you, that's very interesting to hear. I didn't know that until just right
they
now.
laid off a bunch of. It's the second round of layoffs from high res in like the last 10 months.
So a lot of Unreal Engine individuals.
I didn't know that's how you felt about Smite 2. I thought they were doing pretty decently from what my little.
I think it's okay as an alpha. I could not play Smite. I could not stream Smite 2 for 6 hours every day.
Okay. I mean, and as an alpha, that's a different situation. But to sit there and just completely just quit on your other game.
They just stopped updating Smite 1. I mean, they still had small updates and stuff, but no new heroes, like no new gods have been added to Smite 1 this year.
Well, I'd love to piggyback on what Pinzo said there, because I specifically saw ex-high-res devs that were working on Smite 2, Unreal Engine 5, that now no longer have a job. Those are some individuals that might be worth recruiting. I'm gonna just throw that one out there, low key. You know,
a lot of it was from the art team, to be honest. And I think that will be a.
Hey man, I got a lot of in-game icons that need updating. A lot of in-game art that needs revamping. You know what I mean?
Listen, even people who don't like Smite, that game had some banger skins. Okay, that art team, they should pull up to Pred.
I don't even play Smite like that anymore, and every year I spent $100 for the Odyssey Pass because those skins were legit. I was like, if I'm ever gonna play 1 or 2 games, I'm gonna make sure I look the best.
No, their skins. It's even if you don't like Smite, you think the art style is cartoony or whatever. That's some banger skins. But I don't know, man.
Yeah, no, and that's I agree with you. The skins were great. I just the art style really throws me off with Smite, and it's the same thing with high res all around, right?
Highly saturated, kind of Play-Doh-y look. Yeah.
Yep. Because you got Paladins, you got that that Realm Royale, and then you got Smite, right? And they all had that same art style, and I can only
you could throw Overwatch in there too to a certain extent.
Well, but it's not high res, but yes.
Well, I'm saying the art style, yeah. Go ahead.
But so I do agree that the talent there, to make a skin, you don't need to make the skin. You don't need to have just that art style.
Oh, hold on, guys. Zoom for some reason just crashed.
Look into Robbie should be doing what he can to get people in there. What is
we'll see. I'm curious if they do end up picking up people from Smite. I think that'd be really interesting. I think they've already picked up a couple people from Smite, actually.
You think so?
Like 1 or 2, I believe.
I think I've seen at least 1 or 2.
Good to hear. Good to hear. All right. So, full release. What were you guys' thoughts on the full release? Do you think it went smooth? Do you think it had issues? What were your guys' thoughts there?
It was not good.
Hey, you guys go.
The release itself, I guess, was fine. Like the patch came out and it worked.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I know what to.
I mean, it obviously wasn't super awesome, or else we'd have a lot more people playing the game.
I know.
2 things they could have did to make even whatever they released. If they just added 2 things, 24/7 ranked, like we talked about, because we're like, if you don't do that, that's like the most outrageous thing ever. And they didn't. So, and then just had a battle pass, just like the one they had for Christmas, even if it's not anything like
a full release, like 10 steps pass or something.
Yeah, like, hey, this is for the month of release, right? Like, we already know the patch is going to be in 6 weeks. This is 4 weeks of something to grind for your casual players, right? Obviously, the people that play every day probably will get it within like a week. But I think if they had those 2 things, I think the full release would have been 10 times better. I think it would have been at least an 8 out of 10 instead of being like a 5 or 4 out of 10.
I don't see how ranked 24/7 would do that. I do agree with you, having a battle pass, having something to be more engaging with the overall community, not just with the ranked community, would definitely be beneficial and something that should have been looked into. But I mean, I guess that's just me. That's the guy that like I literally play only at peak hours. I only play during rank time. Anyways, I do know there's people out there that work midnights, so obviously when they get on, they don't have the ability to play ranked. You know, I just don't see those people being the reason like, hey, I'm not playing this game because it doesn't have ranked. You know, or you know, full release failing because of that situation. I think that's a pretty small minority in that situation, but
it's primarily for the PC player base. A lot of PC players are very competitive, so they want to play ranked all the time because it's a goal. Even if they have problems with quote unquote matchmaking, they're still going to play it, right? They're still going to queue up even though they're losing their minds.
Full release was Brawl too, right?
No, Brawl came out way before Full Release.
Brawl was before that?
Yeah,
that's how long it's been since we did one of these.
For
anyway,
like 6 months, man.
Yeah,
has it been 6 months? Nah, chill out. But no, I'll
played Brawl recently.
I have
no.
Okay. I was just curious. I think that game mode sucks. I'm gonna keep it 100. I think that game mode is terrible.
No, I think it's fun.
I think it does what it needs to do.
Yeah.
It
serves its purpose.
It feels so anti-fun to me. I don't know what it is. I really can't describe it.
It's the War Prime.
It's well, and Primal Fang. It's those two things I think are just really wacky gameplay mechanics to have it in a game mode like that.
If it wasn't the primordial Fang Teeth and maybe just like the regular Fang Teeth,
or even a buffed up Fang a little bit. Yeah.
And then the Orb Prime, I just feel like it's just there. Like, well, why is it spawning at 10 minutes? But I don't know.
I get it as a casual game mode. And maybe it's just like it really isn't my kind of game mode, right? Like I would just so much rather play like the normal MOBA game mode. Like maybe it's a me issue. I don't know. I don't like that. I don't like that game mode.
I'm not gonna agree with you because it's like the same reason I really don't play Arena. I just in Smite, like I kind of just go there to play it, kind of thing. Like whatever.
You know how many times I've seen we need a ranked brawl mode in the chat? I'm like, yo, chill out, bro.
Go away.
Chill out.
It's been an argument in Smite for the last 10 years. It will never go away, Windu.
Yeah, I'm like, nah, bro, chill out. I will say though, as far as the release goes, am I the only one that, you know, of course, like, you know, I like all the visual changes that were made and stuff like that, but am I the only one that just feels like it was just another patch?
Yeah.
I didn't really feel an oomph.
Yes, it felt like that.
Right? Like and I'll tell you this, how many people do you guys think, actually out of us four here, PC people, how many of us are actually running on all ultra since 1.0?
While streaming? Hell no.
Yeah, definitely not.
I have a 2070 Super. I can't run on any of that shit. So I'm with my
I used to run all ultra before 1.0. I can't run all ultra after 1.0. And the reason I even bring that up is because like I made a little comparison video when 1.0 released as far as like before and after of like the map and, you know, jungle changes and stuff like that. There were some people that were like, oh, it looks great. There were some people that were like, oh, you know what, they added 5 flowers, cool. Right? But then I sat there even reading through the comments, I'm like, how many people are actually gonna play all ultra and enjoy it? Because I know console's not on ultra. Console? I don't think so. So as far as I'm concerned, console is somewhere in the mix of the highs, like, you know, like maybe something's mid, something's high sort of deal. And I think like, you know, PS5 wise, it's like a lot of high, maybe 1 or 2 ultra, but I don't think that console is full ultra. Like it's to the point that like my 3080 is struggling to do full ultra. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I don't think I would want to try it. Definitely not while I'm streaming.
No. That's all the frames. That's pretty much the only time I play is when I'm streaming, so that's not happening. So
Monarch in the chat is saying I got a 4080 Super. I still run medium. It's not worth it. It's a difference of between 120 FPS to 40 FPS when he goes all ultra.
Right?
Yeah.
You mentioned the flowers. I thought the flowers were a cool addition, except for the couple that if you look up at them, they're
just floating.
Anything. They look like
yeah,
bro. There's one next to Fangtooth Pit that can straight up block your entire screen.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is this? I'm like, what? I mean, I look up and like, is that a ceiling fan? What is it? Like, what is hanging here? Like it just like I think again I like the addition of them. I like the color added, and it helps. Like we got a viewer that loves watching our stuff, Sean C. He's been begging for the legacy map to come back, right? These colors kind of add that legacy feel back to it, right? It kind of brings a little bit. Obviously not the legacy map. I'm not saying that at all. But the colors kind of give you that like nostalgia feel to it, and so I can understand it benefiting the nostalgia of some of those people like Sean. But like you look at it, it's like, could you at least put it in a better spot to where it doesn't look like it's just a ceiling fan hanging there? Like that's stuff that's needed to get looked into. It almost feels like, hey, we got to put this in the game because the patch is releasing next week, so we got to get it in there. And they just kind of like, or they threw up a bunch of pennies, and where it landed on the map, well, that's where it's going to be. Like that's where we're going to put a big flower.
I do think it looks a lot better now, but I also expected much more to be done to the map as far as visual changes. I think the lighting change is probably the biggest thing that I like. Okay, out of everything.
Yeah.
No, I like that tree in the river.
I'm not even gonna lie. That's so
a
good.
lot of people think that. Hey, I like that tree.
It's so simple, but it's such a good fix.
Yeah, it's a simple.
I run by and I forget it's there, and I look like, oh yeah, they did add a tree. That is right there. I don't even think about it until I'm actually right up on it. Like, oh, there's a tree right here.
Nice little hiding spot.
When I read the patch notes, I was expecting to be like something like that you cannot look down straight down the river and see across it, but it's like, no, you can still see. Like it's not.
You have to be in a very particular like spot to see the river buff.
Yeah, you can't see from mid lane to duo lane or mid lane to solo lane anymore by taking one step through the fog wall. Like that was the idiotic part, is you didn't have to rotate to watch for someone's rotate. You could just stare at them from mid lane, and it's just that's such a crazy small fix. That's just that helped a lot.
Yeah. It did work. I mean, I just saying it's not as prominent as I thought it was going to be when I reading in the patch notes and then seeing in game. It was completely not. I'm like, oh, I was expecting for this big tree, you know. I mean, I guess I'm saying that because I'm thinking of like Fault's map, right? When you go in, like you went into the river of Fault from mid, like you literally had like it was like almost like an S curve. Like you had to run around pit to actually get to the other side, so you literally couldn't see across there. But you know, it is what it is. I was expecting something like that, but it wasn't like that. So what else was big in besides coloration? I do
undertow skins.
Undertow skins, yes, good call.
Map-wise was the walls that they lowered.
Oh yeah.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
The ceiling caps and stuff.
Aurora, who else are we able to like? I haven't had a chance to really take advantage of those walls being gone. Like,
no, but I've seen some crazy rampage rocks being thrown across the map, though. I'll be real with you. Like some of those walls could be in a little bit lower here and there. Rampage rocks, they're flying.
I mean,
it's like Fang Mao, Gideon, Decker are like the top three in my opinion, and plus Aurora, of course.
But for Decker to do it, you'd have to flash and then do her double jump on the top?
Moon boots.
Okay.
If you have moon boots, you can get over a lot of stuff.
Moon boots with her double jump, she's able to do it?
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. Is Kalari able to do it?
Yeah, Kalari triple jump gets over everything.
Okay. Yeah. I don't play as Kalari. I think that's a hero that needs to get out of the game. Get rid of her completely. I'm okay with that.
She's been like so weak for so long. And
that's good. That's where she needs to be. Like literally weak enough to where you might as well get rid of her. Like, what's the point of having her in the game? She's this weak. That's might as well just keep making her weaker to the people stop using her, and then people just forget about her, and then all of a sudden she's just gone one day, and nobody knew. Like, you didn't think anything of it.
Ooh, Big Doinks brings up an interesting point. The undertow animations are bonkers. Like the individual backing animation, as well as the ability animations, individual backing animations per character. Like Richter's fighting with like one of his own tentacles or some shit like that while he's backing. They're pretty dope, man.
Yeah, they delivered on the promise of when they released their skin line, it was going to be legit. And I was like,
that undertow skin trailer was great. like them coming in on the boat, you know, and the fighting on the beach and everything that was going on there, like that's a completely whole new world. That's got nothing to do with our map. Like that's just that's exterior of the map. It's a different world essentially, and we're watching them fight there, and it was like that added to essentially the lore of the game that we haven't had yet. We haven't had any lore, so like that map, that trailer itself was great. And I feel like that's where we're going to speed up here just a little bit, but we can go back as well. It's no big deal. But that trailer and how great that trailer was, a lot of people had issues with this Skylar trailer and how the Skylar trailer was put out there. Like there wasn't much, like we were expecting to see some, you know, a little, you know, with the map, you know, type stuff. And it's just, you watch that trailer and it's like, okay.
I went back through the Skylar trailer and noticed some things that weren't like it's like in our face, but like at the same time it's not. And one of them being specifically Murdoch, which let me do this. Let me actually put the trailer up on the screen since we're on the subject. But so real quick, I'm gonna pause it on the screen just so we can specifically see it. But look at our boy Murdoch as he does his help me out with the ability name, the Weewoos. Right? Right, the Weewoos. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? The Weewoos. Yeah.
Pursuit? Is it called Pursuit?
Oh, maybe.
I think it's called Pursuit.
Hot Pursuit or Pursuit, maybe. I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, so just one thing that I completely overlooked, but going back the second time analyzing, I was like, Murdoch is like glowing when he's in his Weewoos now.
I mean, like he did glow before.
Well, but yeah, but he was glowing because it was just like a random light bulb on the back of his neck, which was, you know, just kind of there, right? But like now it's like infused into his skin. You can see the lines going down his arm that connect to his gun. They're glowing the same adequate color as well, which I'll just play it here and just let it loop while we chat a little bit. But it's like proper like animations. Is that considered an animation, right? Like the lighting change and how it affects the character model?
I would think so.
Yeah. I think it's also mainly due to the fact that this is from their like system. Like they're just using their servers for this, which allows them to do certain things, right? Like make the characters move a certain way, do certain things.
That's right. That would be VFX. That's a good point. But what do you guys think about Skylar's visuals? Let's see that specifically in the show.
Rewind it real quick just before she jumps up. I want people to watch something.
Okay.
Just before Murdoch alts and it jumps up. Keep going.
She's got a tattoo on her shoulder.
Watch her mouth. When she jumps up, watch her mouth.
A voice line? Like she's talking in the air?
Yeah. Her mouth is actually moving with the voice lines.
Well, yeah, watch at the end of the trailer if you want to see that. When the trailer ends and they're showing off her skin is where you can see it the best. They play a voice line right when she walks out.
Oh, yeah. She definitely just kind of sits there and talks to her gun.
She's the only hero so far that I know of that does that. I don't know of any other hero that moves their mouth with a voice line.
Empty said that's literally Zendaya. I'm gonna need you to get some glasses, bro. Definitely not.
There is a section, and he pointed out on his Twitter. You guys go follow Empty on Twitter. He put a little GIF. There's a little section just before she jumps up, and it gets and dodges the snipe. And there is a little. I can see the way her hair falls. It gives a Zendaya look, but
nah. Tom Holland would be disappointed in all of you. Like, Aye. But I will say, what happened?
Here, those watching right there, he thinks it looks like Zendaya. So, anyways, but yeah, the trailer itself just seemed, compared to again the Undertow trailer, it just seemed a little lackluster. Like we were a little bit of lore in there, would have been good, something, but like there was just kind of like
I mean, I think the lore is in there, not as heavy as people want it. Like, he's wanted, Murdoch's chasing her, he's the law. With
Murdoch and
Bellica.
Bellica.
Yeah, so I
She's
mean,
wanted for though, like that, like that's something that, again, like it's like everybody is wanted when you're the enemy team of Murdoch. You're all running away from Murdoch when you're the enemy team. It's like, what is that? Like, this means nothing if you're looking at it.
I mean, it does because I mean they released.
There's also a Muriel there.
and then
Kai?
Well, they're all from like their backstory. They're kind of like the law, right?
I don't think Muriel is. Bellica and Murdoch are, yes.
Isn't Muriel like a robot that they were able to use?
Don't ask me, bro. I don't know too much about the lore.
Muriel is Kalari's sister.
I feel like somebody to chat.
Turned into a robot. And I know Kalari and Wraith are a Spec Ops team. I don't know if Muriel is tied in with the OPD.
Well, either way, 2 out of 3, I'll take it. You know, maybe they just had a ride along. A ride along with Muriel. But I mean, I get what they're pursuing. Like, she's getting chased down. She's wanted for something. I'm not mad at it because yes, it's maybe a little lackluster, but it also leaves me wanting more. Like, okay, we understand she's getting chased. Why is Murdoch and Bellica chasing her? Like, why is she still wanted? I mean, I feel like it leaves room because I don't think they can do like a trailer, tell the whole story. I feel like that takes a little bit more, and maybe they're able to add on to it with all the other characters they're adding, because they can also do that, like play it into other characters they're releasing throughout the year. Maybe there's more storyline with her since she's an original.
Yeah,
and they're adding a story to her.
Oh, now I'm not saying that I'm really hating on the trailer. I'm just saying that that's what came out after the trailer got released. There was a lot of backlash, a lot of people not impressed, whatever. I do enjoy the trailer. I do think it does. There is stuff there, but I can understand the downgrade essentially coming from the Undertow trailer. You know, you were expecting a little bit more, and then this is what happened.
Isn't it a traditional trailer? Sorry to cut you off.
No,
like, you know, cutting between cinematic, a little bit of gameplay, cinematic, a little bit of gameplay, gets just enough hype in there to just kind of see like a cycle of the abilities, but then tune in next week for the next episode, like that sort of deal, right? Isn't that what all trailers were pretty much like until the full overview comes out?
I mean, I
think it showcases 3 of her moves. She's able to hover, and has like a leap into the air. She has like a
she's got that little rocket barrage, which I'll go ahead and pull up her ability list here in a sec. But or not the ability list, sorry. The little video that they were no, the little video that they released of her.
Who are you
in
talking
lane,
to on
basically.
the inside?
We barely talk. Remember?
Right. Yeah, I again, like going back again with Paragon the Overprime, when they released when they announced, I think it was Richter. It was just in some kind of lab. The video, the trailer was in a lab, and somebody was running. I can't remember who it was. Maybe Morgesh was running, and she went and hid in a room and whatever. And then like the door, the elevator door got ripped off, and then Richter comes in. You see a chain come through, right? It's but that was all you saw was a chain, right? It was like that. Even Omeda did a good job with teasing Richter coming through. All of a sudden, you just saw a chain come through the fog wall and pull somebody into the jungle. Like that was like stuff like that. Just like I was. Again, we know because the Twitter post that she's wanted, but like because we know she's wanted, having a little bit of early story of like what happened, like her doing something and then showing the chase would have been a good because we know she's wanted, showing pre that and then showing a post that would have been a good way to do it, I think. But
I don't know.
It is what it is. Okay.
I don't know. I do like the whole kind of like hover in the air and it's like slowly rockets fly wherever your reticle's at. Kind of combining like a movement ability with a little bit of a poke ability, so to speak.
Right. It gives me Argus R&B vibes. But
You mean the particle beam?
yeah. The video we're watching right now. Sorry, that's what I'm talking about. The video we're watching right now.
No, yeah. The beam definitely gives Argus vibes, but Argus is more like machine gun status. She's more of a direct beam. And honestly, just looking at the beam at Belica, it doesn't do that much damage. Sorry, go ahead, F6.
It definitely does.
Yeah, it feels like it's if
but
you can
only got 2 items on right there.
Yeah, but this also goes against like everybody else, right? Like a lot of ADCs are strong, right? They're supposed to be able to do that. But I mean, it seems like one, it takes a lot of mana. 2, I feel like it's a longer engagement. Like she's not like 2-shotting, 3-shotting people like a traditional ADC. Like you're trying to get 2 or 3 autos in, kind of have people back out. I feel like she's gonna have to have a lot of mana sustained to like keep herself until she gets to late game.
Yeah, because that mana is dropping when she's using that beam.
Yeah.
She might be just
I just
good
feel
at
like that's
poking.
probably not going to be her main damage source.
I don't think either.
I mean, there's a couple things about it too that you can see. A, it hits Belica drone. B, it does stacking damage, or it's prot shred. It's increasing damage the longer she holds it on people. Starts at 8 when she hits Bell, and it goes up to 12. I mean, like it
did have like a burst of 62 as well.
If it's prot shred, then like
like maybe like a tank shredder, so to
the
speak.
beam will be good against tanks, just because you can shred them down and then you can slam them, but it crits.
Yeah, I think a lot of people when they watch this video earlier, they're thinking this ability is just like that busted, but what you don't realize, the twin blast that dies there, I think it's twin, right? The one that the first one that dies there, like he's getting hit by this barrage.
Zinx did all the damage.
Well, it's those rockets that are coming out of her at that point. You know, it's not that there. You see those rockets you talk about. Like there's a bunch of different rockets that are hitting her. They're hitting him.
I mean, let's be real. The Belica didn't provide any type of support at all. I mean, not even knock-up trash.
It's a staged clip.
But what you can see though with that video, speaking of knock-up, Belica does do the knock-up, but her with Skylar, she's high enough. She's not affected by the knock-up.
Is she not? That's actually kind of crazy.
She's pretty high up there, right?
It could be position, but even the Belica knockup, right? If you're behind Belica, you still get affected by it, right? If I remember that correctly, is that not a thing with Belica?
But not if you're high enough. Like moon boots can avoid the knock.
Said they fixed that a while ago.
Right. I think she's high enough, so she's not like she's able. That ability is able to get her to avoid a Belica knockup. Yeah, because she's hovering right over top of her.
And bro, chat's cooking you. That clip is in stage. Right. The Belica looks like F6 support POV. Ah, damn.
Dude, I can't play Belica support to save my life, dude. So you got it. You got it.
I'm excited for the new character though.
Now with F6.
I can see somebody being annoying as hell in the solo with her. I'll just throw that one out there. I hate to say it.
I feel like you might be able to,
the range of that beam? Hell yeah.
I don't know, bro.
We're gonna see F6 with her in the solo day one. Watch.
Right.
I can't aim, so I can't play anybody that has to aim in range. So
that's why I play melee.
Yeah.
Steel only F6.
Yeah.
Steel.
That's
only.
it. That's
I don't want to see you in my rank
now
games.
Range offline or hell no, Odo. Hell.
I see F6 in my rank games. I say, get this man steel, or I'm dodging the lobby.
So everybody thought the new hero for meta was going to be a support, right? Because that's like the one thing we're missing, right? We got a mid laner, we got a carry, we got a off laner / jungler with Xerath. So like everybody was thinking this next hero is going to be support because you saw her when they announced her on Gamescom and you saw that she was in the duo lane. So it's got to be a support, right? Come out, she's announced carry. So with that information, her being announced carry, and knowing that if we looked at the roadmap, can you pull that up, Windu? Did you have that ready or no?
I do have that pulled up on a tab. I got you.
The roadmap of heroes. So we got a meta original. So we had Zinx, a meta original, which is Skylar, and then we're gonna have another legacy hero, and then I believe a meta original. right? Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Legacy
correct.
is a meta
Original
So,
legacy than original.
with this legacy hero, with Skylar being a carry, the next one can't be Yin, right? We're not going to release 2 carries, right?
No.
Who
It's
says
gotta be
you
that.
Wukong.
carry?
That
That's
was my next
fair.
question. I mean,
True.
what would they change Yin to be if she doesn't, if she's not a carry?
Jungler.
Yeah, they could just
I've always wanted her to be a
like a
jungler.
mid-range jungler, maybe. You know,
Make her like a. I mean, she can be a carry jungler. You can make her a Seraph type, right? I mean, she can play from that mid range, right, where Seraph is a dive hero, but you can make her like a carry style jungler, an auto attack jungler.
All right.
Or they could just give me Wukong, call it a day.
bro.
Yeah,
I
good
thought
night.
I thought
I think it's
Wukong was gonna be there instead of Zinx. Like you remove the ceiling from the map, you make walls traversable over, and Wukong is not included in the next like couple weeks. You know
That's
what
what
I mean?
I'm saying, bro.
I think Wukong is the last legacy hero to be released.
Yeah, probably.
this
but I
point-
still want him.
Because his
Even
kit
behind
is the
Boris?
one
Make
that
him
needs to be
last.
changed so much. Yeah, what do you need to change about Boris's kit? You don't know that the guy's broken yet because he
Yeah,
hasn't.
we don't even
released
even fully know his kit.
Yeah, they can make his kit whatever.
Wukong was broken no matter what kit you gave him. That guy was taken out of Paragon 4 times. He was benched because of whatever reason. Like, come on now. That kit needs to get reworked horribly. So Boris, we know what his kit is, or at least it was the assets that were released.
We know what
with
the
it, and
assets are. Yeah.
we know what the assets are, but we don't know what Predecessor is going to make of him, because Predecessor could give him a completely different kit. That just because that's the assets that were released doesn't mean that's what they're going to use. So they can, but so I think Boris is next. I think because of this being a carry, I don't think Ian. I think Ian still stays carry. I don't think Ian's next. I think Boris is next. I think Ian is after that, and I think Wukong is the last of Legacy Heroes. That's what I think.
Are those the only 3 we're missing?
No.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What are you guys' thoughts here? Because of that, we the way we were doing it, technically, we were releasing Skylar. Then you should have had the last 3 Legacy Heroes, and then from there on out, it's OG Heroes. But they're doing Zinx, OG Hero, Legacy Hero, OG Hero. So does that mean we're gonna get a Legacy Hero after this? What we're seeing here on the
For the next
this
season?
hero roadmap? Is it
I think
called season? Is it
Yeah.
nothing on there says season, right?
well
I mean, it's called
only
Nature's
until
Rebellion,
December.
right?
Yeah, it's the last
There's a name
season.
to it, but so anyways, yeah. So this situation, like this roadmap here, you got Legacy, OG, Legacy, OG. So the next one would be Legacy after this one, the 5th hero that we're not seeing on this.
I
Do you
think
it's gonna keep
one.
that situation every other.
I think the last. I think one of the legacy heroes they're supposed to release is giving them problems, and I think they're like, well, we have an original. We already know that one works. Let's throw that in there because we still can't figure out a legacy. So that's my
That shit
take
could
on
low-key be, if that were the case, that low-key could be Wukong. It's like, bruh, how do we make people happy without destroying
I mean, I
this
could
man's
guess-
kit? Like,
I think we've all agreed Wukong is going to be the biggest hurdle that Omega has to overcome when it comes to hero design, because nobody's been able to get him right yet, and they don't want to mess it up on him.
I
Yeah,
am
right.
interested though. This Nature's Rebellion. I'm interested to see what this ending Legacy Hero here has, because it's something to do with that Legacy Hero. I would assume not Legacy Hero. Sorry, the OG Hero.
OG hero?
The OG.
I think he's a mage
ending one.
from the staff. I think it's the staff.
Well, I can see that. I'm just saying I'm interested to see what has to do with
What role
Nature's
play?
Rebellion, because I mean Nature's Rebellion. I'm thinking something like Fae, right? Fae being
that's
a very
interesting.
nature
Maybe like
hero. Like, is this something like, because you know how Argus and Gideon go at it in their lore? I wonder if this is going to be like a Fae and this person, these 2 mages going at it.
See, I was thinking, and help me out here, Pinzo. The support in Smite that throws the seeds, the
Sylvanas.
Sylvanas. That's what that reminds me of. One of Sylvanas' seeds.
That's the first thing I thought of, was like a tree.
Okay.
like another healer.
Not necessarily Sylvanas kit, but that's just what I thought of, was like a tree. Big tree dude. Give me tree beard.
A tree beard.
Maybe. I do think they need to add more support, so I think this one might be a dual role.
I mean, Argus is a dual role hero. They don't have to add a support. We just got a support.
Yeah.
We just got things.
I wouldn't put it past them because, like I said, my idea is I think they weren't supposed to release that original hero at the end of the year. It's supposed to be another legacy, but they just haven't figured it out yet. I feel like there's like whatever was push up a support.
Yeah, but again, I don't think it has to be a support. I think it could be anything, really.
It's another ADC.
Hero roadmap to you guys suffice as the roadmap that we were teased that was supposed to be coming out, or do you guys think that we need to be getting a roadmap that was talked about that was supposed to be being released?
It says part 2 on, so there has to be a part 1 somewhere, and I feel like they just don't want to release the part 1 because of their
part
past.
There was no part 1?
2 on there. There was no part 1, but it says part 2 on there. On that
Are you
picture.
sure there wasn't a part 1? Did we miss it?
No, there wasn't a part 1.
I didn't see it, so if there was one, I missed it. All right.
I made a miss giving it out, but
so
there is a part 1 somewhere. So I'm guessing they have it, but something's stopping them from releasing it.
That's a good point.
It says part 2.
I'm looking at Twitter right now. It literally goes full release. They basically tease the Undertow skins. Shout out for the fact that there's an Xbox exclusive skin and there's a Discord exclusive skin. PlayStation needs their own exclusive skin.
I forgot the skins, yes.
PlayStation needs some love, because I'll be honest with y'all, Discord got the best one. That bioluminescent, what's it called? Rampage
it's
skin?
Better than the original.
Better than the original.
Street Shark Rampage?
Is that what that is? I don't know, but yeah,
That's what I call it.
It looks dope.
like Street Shark to me. I'm dating myself there for anybody who doesn't know what Street Shark is. You're too young.
It's okay. Then yeah, I just see other skins, you know, like they tease Gadget with the face, and then they tease Doomsday Steel, which we didn't really talk about too much, but they did release a trailer for that one as well. Yeah, I guess there's a part 1 somewhere. It's somewhere.
I'm just saying they said that there was going to be there was an announcement somewhere that there was going to be a patch or a roadmap, and we've yet to get a full roadmap. The only thing we've got close to it is this hero roadmap, and we haven't seen anything since then. So I would love to know what's going on there. But you know, in that term, you know, we can keep moving on. Again, if you guys want to bounce back to anything, let me know. But we can keep moving on because of this. Obviously, roadmap not showing up, and what you're saying, part 2, and there's something missing. We also had the delay with 1.1 that's coming up. 1.1 was supposed to be yesterday. It didn't get released yesterday. There was a delay because they were having issues. Their announcement said they were having issues with console verification. Nothing was stated what console. I don't know if it was Xbox or Sony. A lot of people say it was Sony because people say that Sony just is.
Isn't it always?
Yeah, it's always Sony.
Yeah, so I don't know. But besides for release, this would be the first patch released, I believe, on Xbox. So, like, might be something to do with them. I don't know. Either way, a console verification, you know, slowed them down. They got a lot of backlash for this.
They did.
I don't agree with the backlash they get for it. If
we, just for the listeners and for the viewers, could we reiterate what some of the backlash was that they got? Like, if everybody was to kind of share some of the things that they saw people complaining about.
I saw a couple people saying the patch got delayed again. I was like, well, this patch was supposed to come out only once. So I don't really understand.
This patch has only been delayed one time, and this is the delay.
Yeah.
I think what they meant though is another patch is delayed, is what like they
another
meant
delay.
Statement. So, some people's gripe is the fact that you'd have these a meta not coming up short again. A meta's come up short with a season 1 roadmap, season 2 roadmap. I can't remember if they came up short on something with the season 3 roadmap, but they've come up short on a few of these things. They've had to push things, you know, to the next season. They've had to either just take things completely off the roadmap because they're not able to, things are happening or things changed or whatever. So there's that going on with it. But that, to me, a roadmap and them saying, hey, this is our priority or our plan to move forward, and them not being able to hit that timeline is different than a third party saying, hey, this is, you didn't pass this, you got, there's a couple different hoops you got to jump through with console in that situation. I don't blame them for that situation. Other games do the same thing. Like you have that, you go to push a patch through, it's like, nope, we don't, it doesn't pass when you thought you had everything in line, but shit happens. I'm not saying it's not on the devs, but I'm just saying it's something different. It's not because,
I mean, you'd be surprised. So sometimes, let's say, for example, PlayStation, just as the example, right? They'll do an update on PlayStation side where there's a cool new feature, or there's a nice little new pop-up that shows up, or, like a trophies, like whatever it could be, right? Just something integrated into the console system that now, for some reason, isn't meshing well with whatever they had. Or it's like, hey, all the games moving from this point forward have to include this support in the update, or we'll decline the update. So you know what I'm saying? Like, if it's one of those things, multiple games could have their updates denied and they had to fix it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, this isn't just like, I've seen AAA games have these issues. Like, if you're trying to release on multiple platforms, like on Xbox and PlayStation or whatever, and you have these these AAA companies have this issue. This isn't something, again, it's not just, hey guys, this is what we're planning. We want to give you whatever, just for example, because I'm not saying this is what's coming out. We want to give you a whole new HUD. We're going to give you a whole new in-game HUD that's coming out this next patch. And then all of a sudden, hey guys, that's not done like we thought it was going to be, so it's not coming out this next patch. That's them over-promising and under-delivering. This is like, here's the patch. Okay, console didn't agree with it. We need to make changes, so it didn't fit the date that the plan. It's something more of a third-party situation than it is more of just on them because they didn't have everything completed they were supposed to have completed.
So I'll say this.
I love it.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say, I'll say this because I'm torn on this side, right? Because I'm one of those people that it's like, hey, this is like an employee being late when he's been late before, but he hasn't been late for 6 months. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, he's late again, but he's been doing good for a while. Let's cut him some slack, maybe. Like shit happens. I did see a comment that I do agree with, though. Somebody's job internally is to make sure that they're meeting all the requirements. They should be, at least, right? So it easily could be one person dropping the ball and the whole studio's getting backlash for it. Because we all know that person that has the one job.
That's also why I'm wondering if it is Xbox. Because again, we haven't had many patches released on Xbox, so like maybe there's a requirement that we're not understanding or we didn't know about that we need to hit. And then it's like you like, okay, I didn't know that was even a thing. All right, well, that noted. Moving forward, we're going to hit that requirement. That's what I'm wondering. Again, it was a console requirement that didn't get hit. I'm wondering if it's something like that. But it just things that shit happens, and it's not that big of a deal in my opinion. That it's like we need that we're hurting that much for. What I think they could have done to help mitigate the fires. Put the fires out that were happening because of that announcement. Because that announcement, no matter what, you're going to get people that are going to be pissed, and you're going to have riots and fires that are going to be, you need to put out. The hero release trailer would have been better at that. Like, hey, this is our announcement. Like, the good news, bad news. Hey, sorry, patch got released, patch got delayed, but because the patch got delayed, we're actually going to give you the hero release trailer early. Or something of that, like, here we go, we're going to give you something early, just something to, to hold you guys over for this week. I mean, here's her kit, talk about this, something like that. Whatever you give us, that would have been better in my opinion than just waiting a whole week to get any of that stuff.
Well, so let me add to that. They did give us a sneak peek. They're like, oh, Shadow's Eve is coming. The new hero's coming. Confirm the name, Skylar. And then quality of life updates and, a couple things added in there. But
to me, the only thing they gave us was the quality of life updates. We already knew Skylar was coming. We already knew Shadow's Eve was coming. That's nothing new. You didn't, that was stuff was already tweeted.
They gave us something, but it wasn't enough, is where I'll stand on that. Right.
But I'm saying they're in this post, they're showing you this post, trying to show you that they're giving you 3 things. But 2 of those 3 we already knew, because all of your little tweets beforehand that you were putting out, hinting towards a new hero, hinting towards Shadow's Eve. We already knew this stuff was coming. So 2 of those 3 already, you can't use that as a, hey, here's stuff because of this. Here's 3 things we give you. No, you give me 1 thing. You're not giving me 3. I only have 1 here. Right. And I do appreciate the one that I got, quality of life updates. New. All right. I'm all about these new items. These are interesting. What are we going to do with these? All right. Like that's the stuff that I'm like, just again, giving a trailer would have been better than just this quality of life updates.
How do you bring up a good
totally
point?
Disagree, because
I knew you would, F6.
It's not one thing, right? It's quality.
It is one thing.
That's right there. They updated draft screen. They have some console features coming. Mouse and keyboard, right for it. That it's one of them. They have more than that. So there's more things in there for that. And then support for the trophies that people have been talking about on their consoles. I'm saying one thing,
as in you're looking at 3 things. You got Shadow's Eve, Skylar, you got quality of life updates. Those are 3 things.
He's saying surface value.
In that thing, yes, there's more than 1 quality of life update, yes. But they even put it in sections themselves. Like there's 3 sections. You give me, they're showing you off, hey, we're giving you these 3 things. Shadow's Eve, Skylar, quality of life updates. Those are 3 things.
So Huddy brings up an interesting point, and I agree with him on that. We can't assume that everybody has seen every post before. Some people might be seeing this and finding out for the first time that Shadow's Eve is going to be announced, right? That's a very fair point. I do think that they're doing a disservice to themselves by throwing all these golden nuggets into just one little paragraph in a corner, right? Where this could have been probably a little bit more elaborate, so to speak, right? Like, I mean, Twitter lets you add more than 1 picture when you post, you know what I mean? You could have had a picture per, like a picture of Skylar, a picture of the map, and then a picture with quality of life things and stuff like that. Just kind of throwing an idea out there. But funny enough, my post is right here that I shared about it. I was like, yo, always hold people's studios accountable. But if a girl, console certification, is giving my friend, the studio, a hard time about what they want, why the fuck would I blame him? It's like, why would I get mad at my boy if his girl is the one giving him troubles? I would say, hey man, get a new girl or make her happy. Those are your 2 options. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely think that a lot of people are getting a little bit too mad at Predecessor for this situation, but trying to be devil's advocate as well. I totally also see it's like, oh, well, stuff has happened in the past. And it's like, all right, bro. So either break up with the girl or deal with it.
Right.
Right.
No, you give a, that's what I would just say. I'll stick to my point. You give the bad news, and then with the bad news, here's some good. You know, and I feel like this was a little recycled with some of this, you know, and a trailer, the trailer that's, maybe it wasn't ready, and maybe that's why it didn't happen, but something, you know, the hero release trailer or whatever would have been a little bit better.
So I'm gonna throw it at you guys from a media angle, because I do the media stuff for PCC.
Yeah,
I'm not releasing everything off rip, and especially if you have a delay, something like this. Oh, like now I have to fill the next week that we don't have anything with stuff that we didn't have planned for,
unplanned content. Oh,
so
that's fair.
Why would I give you all my content when I can give you the entire week of like, okay, this is coming, you know, a bunch of stuff, like what they did, and put ourselves on track for what we need to do? Because that's a whole entire week of stuff they have to fill in that they had something else planned for. So in my eyes, pretty much all they did was hey, we got delayed, we can't do anything about it. Okay, I really don't care about that. That's just the way of life. And then, okay, they just took the content that was supposed to be released on Friday, like the patch notes and everything that they're going to put into there for this next week. I just think it makes perfect sense. I don't know why people are upset that a delayed happened because of something that they couldn't control. And I think it's way overhyped than it really needs to be.
Can I just say, as somebody that's been focusing so much on work and I'm playing more on a casual level, a couple nights a week, you know, on the weekends, that sort of deal, I really do believe the only people that give a fuck are the ones that are no-lifing this game playing every day. I'm gonna just throw that shit out there. Like, if you just get your couple games a week, you play with your boys, you do a little bit of ranked here and there, the patch got delayed a week, you're like, you know what? I'm just happy I get to find time to play. Low-key, I feel like that's the majority of the casual player base. They're just like, hey, it got delayed another week. Okay, majority of the player base doesn't even reach patch notes. All they get to judge it based off of is what they see.
Like, it's a week, and again, we know some of the things from the patch. We're getting some new items, new hero, presumably a bunch of new Halloween skins, right? Like, that's pretty cool stuff. Like, it sounds like a big patch. It's a week. Sucks to suck.
Even the post says, and this is more me, because I want to say it right now, I agree with you, Pinso. All right, but playing devil's advocate in that side of it, the post even said that they don't even know if it's going to be a week. Like, they're hoping that it's going to be next week, that they're going to be able to release on the next Tuesday that was supposed to happen. Like, I think they said the 8th or whatever it was supposed to come out. Like, that's what the post says, but then they left a post available to be like, it might get delayed still because we don't know if we'll have the fix by then. So it could even be longer than a week. So, but I agree with
that. That sounds like a big PR thing. I think if anything, they're not gonna. I want to say I don't know what the heck they're gonna do, but from my standpoint, you just take out whatever it is that's messed up and just not put it in that patch, right? Like, for instance, it's like one of the skins are the problem. Okay, we're just not gonna put that skin in there, and we're gonna roll with the patch because we can't delay it more. I think that was more of like a PR thing because they can never really commit to it because of the whole over-promising and all that.
Yeah, I think that's mess. I mean, cover your ass, right?
Yeah,
that's what that reads like to me.
For sure. Huddy also says people forget Paragon's player base was 70% console, yet 95% of the complaining is from PC players. My argument to that, Huddy, is the fact that, like, when I was a console player, I was never on Discord. I was never following games like that, right?
Never. I never went to the website, never looked at patch notes.
I still had those complaints, right? So just because the PC player base is the only ones that's actually complaining, it's the ones that are literally taking in all of the information and bringing up their complaints with it. If I was a PlayStation player still, and I was reading all this information, I would still have all my complaints that I complain about. And I would voice it more, but I did, like, when I was on PlayStation, I never got on Discord. Like, the only time Paragon was the reason I downloaded Discord, because I was actually able to play a PC game. I was able to cross console. I was able to play my PlayStation while my other friends were playing on PC, and I was able to, I downloaded Discord on my phone just so I could talk to somebody that was in a different room. Like, oh, interesting, this is something that can happen on other than that, I never had Discord before then. So those people aren't going to complain because they don't have the media to complain about, unless you're like on social media. But again, I'm not a social media guy. I'm not sitting there on Twitter, making complaints like that. Even now, here I am as a PC player, but different situation there. So Shadow's Eve event, they just dropped, was that trailer dropped today? I think that trailer was dropped today, right?
This morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that trailer, I enjoyed that one. That one was really good. I like that spooky little feel it's got to it. The music that goes along with it. I really enjoyed the trailer.
I think a lot of the times their event trailers have a different style than their generic hero.
The hero.
And I think if they can put more of their event trailer vibes into their hero trailer, I think everybody will be happy.
That's what I was saying with the Skylar one. Like, I just give me a little that. Yeah, exactly what you just said. F6. Give me that with the Skylar Hero release.
Like just more flair,
that's just me
so to
being
speak,
devil's
more
advocate.
story.
Yeah, like me personally, I think they're both great. Like I'm just okay, cool. It's great, nice. And I don't take it that seriously. Like I'm just looking at it for things that like abilities or like look at this skin. It's pretty cool. Like when Narbash is getting ready to throw his thunk here, the damn.
Oh, bro, I just saw that shit. What the fuck? I just saw that shit. I didn't look at that before. He throws pumpkins at you? Oh, shit.
Yeah,
I literally
I kind of want to see the rest of his VFX.
Bro, I was complaining looking at that Narbash skin, and I was like, the lack of glow on Narbash bothers me a little bit. Because the majority of him is just like, you know, like kind of scarecrow looking, not really glowing, and just like his eyes and mouth glows. But the fact that a pumpkin is flying at you, yeah, that. Imagine his ultimate, like what's gonna happen? Little ghosts start coming up out of nowhere or something. You imagine?
Yeah. Then overall, I think it's just the music in the trailer that kind of gave it more of a vibe. It kind of like just put everything together. But yeah, Narbash dancing in the middle of War Prime Pit is actually hilarious.
Why? Just because he's dancing in the middle of the print?
I think it's cool. There by himself.
Hey,
why are you doing outside of that?
Windu, do you think the Bellica witch skin will have the hat actually on top of the head?
Son, I have trauma because of the Halloween Bellica skin not being properly done in some games in the past. It looks like it's normal here, for the record.
It does look like it's normal here.
Definitely, it looks like it works. I'm loving the lanterns everywhere. Can we just throw that out?
The witch hat would look like it floated on top of red. Like it never made contact. Like it literally was just like a floating hat.
She's like a witch though.
It was like the Harry Potter.
Maybe she could have a floating hat. Maybe that was a stylistic choice.
Stylistic, yeah. It bothered Windu. Anytime we did our partner chats or whatever, Windu's like, hey, can we get this skin fixed? Can this actually happen? Are we able to do this? It was hilarious. So when I watched this video today, I saw her in there. I'm like, ooh, I wonder if Windu is watching this.
If they don't make the Ore Prime Pit a big pumpkin or the Ore Prime a big pumpkin, they missed out on a lot.
you talking about like they gave him the jack-o'-lantern?
If Prime was a big pumpkin, I think it would have been in this trailer.
Well, so when is the update coming out?
We don't know.
Supposed to be next week.
Presumably the October the 8th.
Okay, they're aiming for a week from now. Okay.
Yes.
Well, with the logic that F6 was saying, if they are holding back content, who's to say this is everything? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, what if they do some funky stuff with the Primal Raptor or something like that, or with Prime, or you know, like I don't know, any other stuff that happens.
I mean, I think a lot of people are missing the big picture of the 6 new items, and that changes the gameplay loop a lot. I mean, I think that's.
You think so? Because last time new items got added, not all of them. Like, when's the last time you saw, I don't know, nuclear rounds being used on a really frequent basis?
Huh? You doing it?
Well, they just nerfed the shit out of that item.
Yeah.
I think that's an unfair.
Okay.
When that item got out,
help me out. Purple Quiver.
That item was cracked. Okay?
Purple Quiver. What's the name with the shield?
Equinox.
Yeah, use that like a 6 item.
Equinox
Like 6 item.
is actually
Don't
good.
bring up Equinox.
You gotta pull out good comparisons if you're gonna make that point, Windu. There are a couple of them. Okay, there are a few items that aren't awesome.
Windu put me on my soapbox now. All right, this is a PSA announcement for anybody playing ranked as Sparrow. Okay, do not start Equinox. Okay, it is not a starter item. It is a great item, and you should use it, but it's not a starter item. I literally had a Sparrow start Equinox and then a Nixian Quiver as their 2 items, their first 2 items. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? You have no power. And of course, that Sparrow went 06 and whatever. And I'm like, my dual lane was trash. I like, stop doing that. And I went back and looked at this person's history. Every ranked match with Sparrow and Nixian Quiver or Equinox was their first fucking item they built.
They thought they were onto something. They were on the strat.
Oh my gosh, dude! So don't do it.
But
it's a great item. Put it somewhere else. Third, fourth, fifth item. I don't fucking care. Not your first fucking item. Do not build it there.
One thing I do think they're doing badly though, when it comes to their information, is Robbie leaking stuff, but they're not posting it on their actual stuff. And I think that's the biggest communication key. 'Cause a lot of stuff that we want to know comes from Robbie instead of the predecessor account. And I think that shouldn't happen.
And the predecessor account just really needs to just retweet his stuff, essentially. Like he can do the leak that he does, but there's not getting a good, and there's no like consistent retweeting of like, hey, Robbie put something out, we got to retweet this.
Yeah, so I think if anything for me, that's the one thing they need to work on. I feel like they communicate like what most devs do. Actually, I think they communicate a little bit better, to be honest, from like a lot of games I've played. But I think one of the big things is making sure their information is all in one area when it comes from their team. Because that draft screen thing or the post that Robbie made is huge. Like when you get that information, you're like, whoa, there's a lot of things I like here, there's a lot of things I don't like. Like the fact that you get the videos now instead of the damn big box that covers up everything on the right side of the screen is huge. Now you get a visual representation instead of being like, what do these words even mean, right? Like, what does that mean? Okay, this is what the ability does. And then they also removed classes and a bunch of other stuff that he put in there. And that's 5 things.
Well,
just off that post.
I'll add on. There's a lot of nuggets in the comments to these, right? Because I made fun of him for it earlier. It's like, yo, Robbie Loki gives answers while denying information. Like it's hilarious as hell, right? But even those 5 things that you mentioned, I just scrolled down and Covert, shout out to Covert, GG, OG in the community. He's like, how about buying skins from draft? Robbie says, likely the patch after that. I was like, will there be a way to see match history with data at some point aside replays? I love Metacity's data. Yep, planned for 1.2, I think. Like, you see what I'm coming from? Like, these are nuggets being dropped in the comment section of Robbie's post.
And that's what I'm saying. So I know Purple Swan said they retweeted it. I'm not talking about retweets. I'm talking about like actually making posts. Like, let's just say Robbie wants to give this information out. Do it as your team. Instead of Robbie being the one to post it, put it on the official account. That way, whenever he does drop the little nuggets are on the actual account. So it's more about perception than anything. So to people that are constantly looking for all the information, I feel like you guys are communicative, but all over the place. So if it's at one tree that all your information is coming from, nobody can be like, you guys aren't communicating. If you guys did this and then a bunch of devs are responding to whatever questions are answered through like what Robbie's doing right now, the engagement from the community would look a lot better than what it is now. What I'm saying.
Yeah. Real quick in chat, Z-Quick says, are the Undertow skins going away once the next patch drops? Windu replied saying, not sure. But I don't have the answer because again, we're not sure, but I don't see how they would take one of their money makers and take it away. Like, I think if you go to the skins tab or whatever, there's a time limit, but I think that the time limit is for the
discount.
The discount. Yeah, thank you. Like, I think that time limit, once that time limit's done, I think that's when you're going to pay full price for it. I think it'll still be there. I think you'll always be able to get the Undertow skins because that's some of their best skins they have in the game. So for them to take that away, I don't think that would be a good.
Yeah, and they're not themed like Halloween or Christmas or something. They literally could live there year round.
Yeah. So, but that's just my opinion on it. Again, that's not information we have. I just don't see how that would be a thing.
I mean, Swan said it as well. Bundles are just time limited usually, not just completely disappear. So,
right. That's the bundle side of it. The individual, besides the.
They've never disappeared
sprays,
anything. You
can't buy a spray individually, so that's what you lose from the bundle. But like the skin itself, you would still be able to buy.
Yeah.
And I got another Robbie reply that I just took a screenshot and shared. Somebody asked him, will the Murdoch skin be free like it was in Paragon? You guys remember Jack-O-Lantern Murdoch? What about Twitch drop skins? Robbie replied, I don't want to spoil anything, but keep an eye on our socials. It's like, hey man, I'm not gonna answer your question, but your answer is about to come up.
That's what I'm saying, right? Like,
Dude,
a lot
to
of people
not
are
get
gonna see
everybody
it.
too hyped though. To best of my knowledge, the Murdoch skin was never released as an asset. The Halloween Murdoch Jack
Yeah.
Lantern skin was never released as an asset.
They might make
Really?
their
I
own
didn't know
version.
that. They could make their
To the
own
best of
version.
my
That's
knowledge.
fair.
They can, yeah, definitely can make their own version or whatever. But I'm just saying, like, so in the sense, reading that what you just put up there, something it could be out. Pay attention to the socials. More is more to come. Essentially, I don't want anybody who is a Murdoch fan and
Like
love
false
that skin.
expectations and stuff. I feel
Yeah,
you.
I don't want anybody to get too excited because the best of my knowledge, that was not a released asset.
Are y'all trying to play a game?
Right. Let's play a little game.
I'm horrible about these
Item.
games.
Bro, I'm
Does
horrible
what?
at this shit too.
F6. No, Pinzo. Pick a number 1 through 6.
1.
1. All right, Pinzo.
You
got
mage.
number 1. What letter do you think matches with 1?
Let's see.
It's got to be the abilities
which one
one,
is
no?
this? The purple staff? Sorry, I was just.
This is
Yeah,
the
purple staff.
Purple
Far
staff.
left.
I think that's probably the ultimate one. Which one is
Ultimate
that?
one,
The one that
let's
makes
see.
your ult do.
See, your ultimate deals 15% increased damage and heals you for 25% of the
Yeah.
damage dealt to the heroes. Okay.
Makes
Yeah,
sense.
that
All
shit
right.
seems
So
bonkers.
Pinzo thinks 1 matches with C. F6. Pick a number 2 through 6.
5.
5.
Dragon is deal.
Dragon Eaton's Tail. What do you think that matches
Is that
with?
a dragon?
What do you call
That
that?
has to be
What is
E.
that?
Looks
E?
like a
You think that
support
is
item.
E? While
Yeah.
with 100 units, 1,000 units of an ally hero, you both gain 0.75% missing health and mana regeneration. Okay.
I don't know how. I didn't even read E.
right.
I'm so out
I
of
think
it.
that item's gonna be
All right.
fucking sick.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nah,
but
that
it's
item's gonna be
point-
terrible. Unless it has a really good
0.75?
base stats on it.
I'm thinking about the mana
that item's
regen,
gonna be
though.
terrible.
I think the mana regen is gonna be worth it.
It's missing
That's-
mana, bro. It's missing mana.
No, it's just mana regen. It's missing health.
That's fair. It does say missing health and
Well-
standard mana regen.
Hero, you both gain missing health and mana regeneration. So you're getting mana regeneration plus missing health. Okay. Interesting.
Weird. If it is missing health and total mana, then it's worded really improperly.
Yeah, it's
Worded weird. I could see that.
Yeah.
But I honestly
on the
So
my
it's like-
assumption was that it was missing health
is-
and missing mana, and if
Right.
it's missing health and missing mana, then that item's going to be terrible. Just look at Raiment of Renewal. That item sucks.
So let's say it's mana regeneration. What normal mana regeneration? What is 2 point whatever? Like you're getting
that's.
I mean,
that's
depending
if you
on
have
level,
some
but
start.
yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
a lot of times it's like one.
I mean, yeah, it's not like all right. So yeah, so if we're getting 0.75% of that of 1, you're almost getting a whole 1 back of mana regeneration. All right, it'll be interesting. Okay, so you think all right. So Windu, what you got 2, 3, 4, or 6?
Bro, I'll be real with you. I 1,000% think that number 6 looks like a little weird, like shield or like a dragon scale or some shit like that. And I think that's gonna be like another anti-heal. The F.
F. All right. Enemy heroes within 550 units of you have their healing reduced by 40% and are slowed by 10%.
So
Okay.
now they don't necessarily have to make contact with you. You just got to be basically borderline face checking them, and anti-heals applied. That on a
think the
Greystone
slow
running
is
on
the big
carries
one.
is going to be insane, and the slow.
Yeah, why did they take the slow off of Frost Guard if they're gonna add this
Yeah.
item to the game? Like
that's why
that
they
should
did
be
it.
one item. Also, this is how the anti-heal always should have been. I hate the defensive anti-heal items in this game.
Yeah.
I can see
I think
that.
it's dumb that they anti-heal people when you get hit. I feel like you should have to do something to make your items work. And those items do something by other... They activate by having other people in the lobby do things, and I don't like that.
Yeah, like if you run double tainted, the moment you get hit with anything, Anti-heals applied, basically.
They're taking dot damage plus you're getting anti-healed. It's just I don't like it personally. At least when it's an aura, you at least have to stand next to somebody and they have some counterplay, which is walk away. Right.
Yeah.
If you're playing carry and the enemy has tainted guard, what's like there's no counterplay. You're just going to be anti-healed when you try to kill that guy. Good luck. Right, like
Beat
yeah,
twin
you're just
blast.
taking damage. Ridiculous.
Roll and grenade. That's the only option, Loki.
Nah, I mean, Tainted Guard literally just stops Twin Blast from doing whatever hell he wants to do.
I don't know. I don't know why they tacked a slow onto this. I mean, it's just what Tainted Totem initially was.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
I don't know.
basically.
I feel like move speed slow
Shorter
should still
range.
be tacked to Frost Guard.
So I'm gonna pick number 4, and I think number 4 matches with A. So deal 20 plus 4 per level, additional true damage, and slow the target by 50% for 0.3 seconds. Damage increases from 1 times to 3 times based on the target missing health for 10 seconds.
Once every 10 seconds.
Yeah, I think we should give a 50% slow to carries. What do you guys think?
Nah, it's got to be
And
like an
it's-
assassin
that
item,
sounds
right?
awesome.
Because you only get one instance of true damage every 10 seconds.
Assassin. Yeah.
No, I think that's a support item anyway, TBH.
Just low-key every 10 seconds land an auto attack.
It's not scaling damage. I feel like that legitimately can be a support item. It's not, the damage is based on level. It's not based on power, right? Like that legitimately could be a support item.
That's
Based
true,
on
and
the
it is
target's
based on
missing health as well.
targets missing health and the level. You could throw that shit on a Zinx. Low key, right?
Plus, there's no way, okay, side note, there's no way they're giving a 50% slow to just like a fucking carry. Like, let's have Lightning Hawk on a 10-second cooldown,
True.
like on
Good
top
point.
of Lightning Hawk. Like I don't know, man. There's just no way. That has to be a support item. It's just support version of Elefrost.
I feel you. So you think the base stats themselves have got to be
I
like
think the base
health and
stats will be
mana or
terrible,
some
yeah.
shit like that?
That's
Okay.
my guess.
50%.
The same thing with like
wild.
Cresselia. When Cresselia came out, everyone thought that passive was really good because they did this same thing for the last round of new items. And like Cresselia, it's like Spellblade to reduce your active cooldowns by 15%. That's broken. And then the base stats were terrible, so it's bad, right? Like, my guess is the base stats on that item are gonna suck.
If that is an
Alright, so 2
ADC
or
item, though.
What's left?
2 or 3.
Green staff or
Green
yellow
staff or
sword?
Green sword.
Well, I
yellow.
think 2 is B.
You think 2 is B. All right, so the green staff, you got your abilities deal 3 plus 3% magical power, additional magical damage. Each ability cast can only trigger this effect once every 0.3 seconds per target. All right.
Yeah, I think that item's going to be not good. Unless the base stats are crazy.
I would just swap your 2. I think 1 is B, just because I think 2 looks more like the healing. I think the green stone, green and healing.
Okay.
That's just my that's me, my gamer sense.
I can
That's
see
how
it.
I feel about that. And then 1, the stone on the staff for 1 reminds me of the ability buff for river buff, that color for the ability. So it just kind of gives
how
ability
pink
damage.
is like the ability
Yeah.
buff. Okay.
It just, again, that's just my gamers. That's how my gamer sense puts it. But that, other than that, I mean, I agree with you that 1 and 2 matches with those 2 letters. Just,
Yeah, that item, I don't know, man. Add 3% scaling to an ability. Like,
Well, but like ability spam heroes, let's say for example, like a Gideon would be able to take advantage of that, right?
yeah, not
Actually,
really though.
No, not
I
even
mean,
because
it's-
he's got a teleport. Are there any mages that have 3 damage dealing abilities? Argus?
Yeah, I mean like Fae, Argus. But like even on those, I mean, yeah, Empty's right. Like it is listed for a dot damage, but like it also has a weird, right, a cooldown on it. Right, a 0.3 second cooldown. So like it's not even on those dot characters, it's not like it's full value. I mean, it's like a Morigesh item, but you only get it on every other tick of your passive or whatever, right? Like why? I don't
Dash
know.
Quick says Quang, maybe.
Probably. I mean, the base stats would have to be really good.
All right, so that leaves what, 3 3 with what that gives us.
That's D for sure.
D. Upon casting ability, empower your next basic attack within 4 seconds to deal 50 plus 120% critical strike chance, bonus physical damage on hit.
Yeah, that sounds like a carry item. 100%
hurt.
So wait, 120% crit strike chance? So you're telling me if somebody decides to build 120% crit chance, this will actually convert the extra crit into damage?
That's what it looks like. But if you have 120% crit chance, this is like 150 plus 50 damage. That's 200 damage. Like, is that worth it? To have to optimize
but it is bonus on hit with a 1.5 second cooldown.
Yeah, but it's a spell blade on a carry. Like, who are you cycling abilities on properly on a carry to get spell blades? Like, think Rev. If you E auto Q auto Rev, you get 1 proc. That's not 2.
1.5 second cooldown.
Well,
I think you get 2 procs.
So hold on, don't forget.
You have to hold your abilities. You have to space your items.
But don't forget a TB. Don't forget a TB passive will make his dash lower the cooldown every single time, right? So essentially, he can keep that
anyway. You have to build.
I get it.
Like, you're forced.
But
to
I'm saying you could dash. You could dash and proc it is what I'm saying. And just consistently keep dash proc, you know, like along with the grenade spamming as well. I'm just saying there's an opportunity there to abuse it. I'm not saying crit twin blast is good. I'm just saying he's got the kit to be able to spam it.
I just feel like on the majority of carries, I just feel like this realistically just doesn't really do anything.
It is crit chance and on hit mix.
Like, Kira is the one hero that I feel like will probably use this.
So my question here with this, if you, let's say Kira, let's go with that. But let's say Kira is building crit items, right? So she gets her 100% crit because she built her, how many items you need? 5 items to get 100% crit?
Yeah.
So she builds her 5 items, she gets 100%
You could do it with
crit.
4.
Okay.
Because of plasma blade, but yeah.
Right. So she gets her 4 or 5 items. She's got 100% crit. So does that give me 220% crit with this item?
No, that's not what the item says.
So what is that 120% critical chance mean?
It's
then?
bonus damage. So if you have 100% crit, 120% of that's 120. That's added to the bonus damage on your next auto.
Okay.
That's how it's calculating it.
Got you. All right. That's where I was confused and I didn't understand. Thank you.
The base stats are going to matter a lot. We'll see exactly what they are. It's probably just the same base stat spread as nuclear rounds is right now. I mean, right? Like, it's a spell blade item. Probably has haste on it. It's probably got crit on it. It's probably got power on it. Like,
Chat saying Ashbringer and that item combined, so you can cycle through your abilities faster.
Yeah, but that's not. The spell blades in this game are not. They suck, bro. They suck. Why did they have a cooldown? Why do spell blades have a cooldown? Okay, that kind of thing. If you built like Ashbringer Crunch with Og and it didn't have a cooldown, that'd be fucking sick, right? That'd be awesome. Because you would get one every ability. Bum 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 bum.
So maybe it
has a cooldown.
Maybe you're saying this, and I'm misunderstanding, and I want to going off of what Noah just said there with the Ashbringer. Ashbringer, I know, is the item that lowers your cooldown. Yep. The way I interpret Ashbringer is it's lowering your ability cooldowns.
Correct.
Right. But does it lower the 1.5 second cooldown for that item?
No.
So
that's why it's not good. On a character like Crunch, you can use like 3 abilities in the time that you get, and in that time, even if you're auto canceling, you get a single proc of something like Og.
You're not gonna get the 2 or 3 procs on.
Yeah. In my opinion, it just feels like if like they could cut the damage of augmentation in half, right, and make it physical or whatever, or all spell blades, right? But the fact that it has a cooldown just makes it feel like yes, there's a skill to, like, you know, weaving your abilities around that 1.5 second cooldown. But I also feel like there's skill to auto canceling properly throughout a combo and getting more value out of it. And I feel like I would rather have the latter.
So, all right, a little more schooling here, because again, I'm that guy that I don't know, and if I don't know, there's other people who don't know. You're saying spell blades, and I feel like that's a term that you're using overall, a generalization of something. Okay. Can you explain what that means in a predecessor stance?
It's all the items that are, when you use an ability, your next auto attack does something. Those are spell blades. They build off of an item called spell blade.
Okay. Got you.
Or I guess in this game, it's
abilities
called, what
proccing.
is it called? Spell slasher in this game or some shit.
Yeah, it all build. Yeah, they all build off one tier 2 item.
Yeah, they all build off. I think it's spell slasher in this game.
Okay.
But yeah, it's spell blade is the league term for it. But yeah, I don't know. Personally, I like some of them obviously need cooldowns. Like something like Elefrost obviously needs a cooldown. Oathkeeper obviously needs a cooldown, right? But something like Og, I mean, now that it's true damage, I think it's fine that it has a cooldown. But making it physical damage and then just letting it not have a cooldown, I feel like would be so nice. Because on a character like Feng Mao, you can like dash auto, E auto, Q auto, and you could get 3 procs. And if you're fast, that's a lot of bonus damage. If you're willing to execute the combo that way.
I'm
fast.
fast.
I just think it would add more to it.
All right. Well, hey, I'm excited for new items. Again, the stat sticks with them that come with them are going to really determine how well they are or how broken they may be. So I'm interested to see what they are. But speaking of items, what are your guys' thoughts of the new items that were added, the latest new items, like the Mist Meadow Buckler or whatever, and the other ones that were added, nuclear rounds, the balances of them? Where do you guys think they fit now? When they first came in, like Mist Meadow Buckler had lifesteal. It no longer has lifesteal. Nuclear rounds, you guys just said recently that Mist Meadow Buckler has lifesteal.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
What letter?
No, it doesn't.
When's the last time you played Pred F6?
Right, yeah, you're right. He's been playing that new what is that, Throne or something, Throne game instead. But yeah, so Mist Meadow Buckler no longer has lifesteal. Nuclear rounds, you guys said earlier that it got
restatted,
nerfed essentially. How do you guys feel about these items and where they sit now currently? Do you think some of them are too nerfed? Do you think they're not where they need to be? Do you think they need to be some more balance on some of these items, or where do you guys think they sit?
When they released nuke rounds, the passive was really good and the stats on it were incredible, and then they destroyed the base stat spread after they had nerfed the passive. And I think if they unnerf the passive, I think it would be a pretty good item. As of now, I really don't think you're building that on anybody. I think it's pretty bad.
Okay.
Mist Meadow Buckler, in my opinion, is considerably better now than it was when they released it. I think having 15 haste on that item makes it really good. I think it's quite a good item.
I enjoyed when I was building it when it first came out. I was building it not only for the lifesteal, but the lifesteal was very beneficial for me as a jungler. So I really enjoyed that, and now not having it, I noticed the difference with it. So like I don't go to it as often anymore. Like I now, instead of going Mist Meadow Buckler, I go Void Helm and give me that extra health that comes with Void Helm, and building my health in that, regardless if I'm going like a Saphir's Mantle and stuff. So I don't really go a Mist Meadow Buckler, but that's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, ability haste is a pretty broken stat in the game. So having 15 of that is really, really good. Like that would make any item better, in my opinion. Like what it had like 6% Omnivamp on it before. That was sick and all, but I just don't think it really did a lot.
Yeah.
Because 6% alone doesn't really do a whole lot for you. So if you wanted to go into like a lifesteal build, you were probably building like Mutilator with it, and then you're building 2 items that don't have any HP on them. And you also are only getting 15 haste because Mist Meadow didn't have any. And so it was just a little awkward, in my opinion, to slot into builds. But with
I was stacking it with Mutilator. I was stacking it with Mutilator because it was basically my energy armor that I was getting with I was getting Mutilator, and then I would get my energy armor from Miss Meadow, but I was also getting some lifesteal off it as well. So it was like a double.
Yeah, it's just if you're stacking 2 items like that don't have HP on them, I just think like if your goal is to frontline, I just don't think it matters that you have 2 lifesteal items. Like lifesteal is not a super good lifesteal in this game is not super duper good.
Okay.
And also like if you're playing a frontliner, like if you're playing something like Xeris and you want to go Mutilator Mist Meadow for the lifesteal because you're like, oh, the lifesteal is going to let me outbox everybody. Like when you ult in and get crowd controlled, you're not lifestealing off of anything.
Yeah, no.
So the extra
Right.
HP is where that would be really nice, right? So not having health is pretty bad, but I think that 15 haste makes the item pretty good.
Okay. What about I saw in chat, what about Gaia Greaves? What do you guys feel about that? The changes with any of that?
I think that item's still good. I think people build it a lot less. I think the characters that it was really good on aren't super awesome at the moment. Like Xeris was broken with it, right? But I don't think Xeris is super duper good.
All right. I build that item on like Terra or I think even a Kai sometimes, just because the movement speed as I'm jungling, you know, and plus I'm getting the physical armor. I enjoy that movement speed, you know, incoherent with those, not incoherent, in cohesion with those.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I just think like right now, I think there are just some like I think there's better items. I don't think you have to have it every game like you maybe used to.
Oh yeah, no, I don't build it every game. It's more of like where am I at? Okay, I'll use this. It's more like I build it like 4th or 5th item depending on what's going on. It's never anything that I'm like, hey, let's get Greaves in there.
Yeah, I mean, like you used to just see like Xeris Kai running like Berserker Zax Gaia Greaves because it let you run around the map so fast.
Yep.
I think you can still do that. I just think like those characters that benefited from that are just not at the top of the meta at the moment.
For sure.
Like, you're not doing that on like Steel, right? Who like or Sev or Richter, like the top couple of junglers at the moment. I just don't think you're doing that.
No. Although I could see how it could be beneficial with Richter because Richter kind of feels like he's moving slow. So that could be a little beneficial just to kind of get a little bit of a speed boost on that.
He's got move speed on his E. He's fine.
He does. Yeah. All right. But I'm interested to see what they do because one thing I'll give Omega props for is I feel like they do a really good job with their balancing. Sometimes it might take a little bit of time when the 6 items, when they brought out 6 items, it took a little bit to kind of figure it out. But it's something, a big change like that's going to take time to balance. But they do a pretty good job. You get these heroes that come out, you know, now that they've gotten heroes out, when they first started, some of these heroes would come out and they would kind of be lackluster, you know, but they've gotten to a point to now these heroes, they're going to be overpowered in the beginning. That's what that's a selling point in my opinion. Like business wise, you want your new hero to be something great. You don't want a lackluster new hero. Like, oh, well, that's a no fun hero. I ain't going to play that person ever.
The hard balance to land. Yeah.
Right. So then you hit that spot, but it's like then you that first patch, you dial them back. Okay, let's bring them down a little bit, and then you kind of fit in from there. I feel like Omega does a really good job, even with the items. I feel like they do a good job with the balancing of that. So I'm interested to see where these new items. We got 6 new items. I'm interested to see where they fall and how well they are. You know, and you know some of them are going to be a little busted. Understandably so. They're new items. You want people to use them. You want people to change up their meta of their builds. You know, not build the same 6 items no matter what hero they play as. You know, and go from there. So I'm excited to see what happens there.
Is there anything we haven't covered? Anybody in the chat wants to mention
about it all, except for the biggest gripe of them all. Matchmaking.
Oh, we haven't talked about that. Ooh, forgot about that
whole
one.
Show not talk about it, but let's look at what. My quick thing that I want to say, I want to get my little soapbox here, and I want to just explain to the community to understand. When you're looking at a meta.city, and you're looking at the match you just went against, you have to not look at the VP and see like, hey, why am I faced up against a bronze, right? You can look into that. Hey, yeah, why I'm going up against bronze? Why did I go against bronze? But if you look into the bronze, there's a good chance you're going to look into that person. You're going to see that they've won 60 or 70% of their games. So they're rising quickly because you don't have the perception. You don't get to see it, but essentially Omega has placement games. So depending on how well they're winning, they're going to climb quickly. Their ranking that they have, they're only ranked in bronze. That they're not, their VP's not shown with that. So their matchmaking rank, their MMR is moving up, is leveling up quickly. So they're putting them in the rank that they deserve to be in. So you look at it, it's like you're getting placed against these bronze, but they're actually, majority of the times, they're actual bronze that should be where, you know, up there with you guys until they lose and level out. So that's a perception thing that Omega Studios needs to work on, so that when people are looking at Omega.City, they're not getting that false perception of them getting ranked, getting, you know, matches against people that should be getting matched against or with.
So, okay, hold on. We don't know what they're using for their matchmaking, because this is their own matchmaker. Correct me if I'm wrong, right?
Yeah.
This is after they went through and established their own.
Their own, yes.
We don't 100% know if they're using account levels as part of the matchmaking. We don't know if they're using, you were saying win rate, but what if they're considering quantity of games into it also? Right? Like,
right. You're thinking way too hard, Windu.
Yeah, you're cooking way too hard.
Well, here's the thing.
It's not that deep, bro.
If they were only considering VP, it would be a lot simpler to find quote unquote balance as far as the numbers go, not necessarily skill level. I think that they, instead of keeping it simple, they might have actually went down the route of, oh, let's try to make it as balanced as possible, and maybe they're thinking too deep about it.
No, I think
you just have hidden MMR.
Yeah, I think they're undermining what the face value of the matches look like. Like, yeah, you can have a whole intricate system that actually does work, but when you go look at your teammates in Omega.City and you see a bronze versus a Paragon, right, you're like, what the hell is this? But
okay, so explain for people, and I'm sorry to cut you off. Explain for people as you're going, what is the difference between hidden MMR and the VP, and why not just, like, why use one over the other? Like, why the hell would that even matter? Why not use the VP? Keep explaining. F6, sorry.
From my understanding, your MMR is actually what they take into account in a lot of different factors, i.e. your win-loss and who you're matched up against with, yada, yada, yada. And then your VP, what you see on your screen, your rank, is your external MMR. It's just something to help you visually see where you're at in the system, but doesn't necessarily tell you the whole story. If that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's a very hard explanation. MMR is like a whole thing of like trying to explain, but your internal MMR is, I like to say, the engine, and then your external MMR is just like the body of the car. It looks shiny and great, but if your internal MMR is just complete dog shit, don't have an engine there or something like that, it's not as good as you think it is. But the reason why you're matched based off of your internal MMR is because it takes in a lot more factors where it makes the game actually more even based off how you're playing. And if you match based off your external MMR, you don't get as even matchmaking as you think you get. But in all reality, right. In all reality, it's working, but I think the face value is not considered as much as it should. And I think they need to look at, okay, yeah, your internal MMR is working, but at the same time, let's factor in something about the external MMR. Like, all right, yeah, you're playing at a Paragon level, but you're not allowed to play in diamond matches until you hit gold if you're going to go try and play in a Paragon, something like that. And I think like a cutoff range of certain ranks for your external MMR, so like your VP that you see, should be a limitation to how far you can go based off your internal MMR. And I think that'll help out a lot. So a lot of the things is seeing a bronze or a silver in a Paragon lobby, I think is the bigger shock factor than trying to explain how the actual MMR makes it fair. We just put
Cool.
like a soft cap on the actual external external MMR.
Well, like I'll give you an example that was happening in one of my matches, right? I'm currently in plat. The guy that I was going against in solo lane was silver. He came into my chat all mad as hell, right? I tried to find an explanation. I'll be real with you. I couldn't come up with an explanation because it's like, okay, so how many games do we each have played? I'm like at 1,500. He was like at 300, right? Win rate, he was like in the 50s, nothing crazy, right? And across the board, my team on VP points was like 350, 400 VP points on average, higher than their team. Like their team literally had like a whole bunch of silvers and like 1 gold, while my team had like 2 plats, 2 golds, and 1 silver. I could like that person that came frustrated towards me in the chat in my my stream, and they were like, "Yo, why the fuck am I against you?" I was like, "I'll be real with you. I can't come up with an answer." He's like, "I'm solo queue," and I was like, "That makes it more confusing. You're not even queued with somebody to boost you up."
Very simple to understand if I put it in the way of, in your last couple of games leading up to that match, you were playing at the same level as your counterpart. They're let's say,
Like
for
they were
instance,
playing very well leading up to that. You're saying?
So Windu, you said they were. You said their win rate was like around 50%.
Yeah.
And you're just talking about their overall Omega.City profile, right?
Yeah. Just when I glanced over.
So then now I would dig deeper in that situation. I would like on Omega.City, I would hit the game mode. I would drop down to rank and see what their actual rank, like kind of go their last 10 matches of their rank and see where they're at there. If they're playing at a 60% or a 6% win rate, like they won 6 their last 10 or they won 7 their last 10, that's why they're up there. You know, of their rank mode. That's what it's based off. It's not overall profile. It's literally what they're doing in ranked and how well they're performing there. What I don't understand is MMR, matchmaking rank, right? That's what your rank is. But we're playing ranked, and our ranking is based off of VP, and then that's your game rank. But you have MMR. That's what you're being ranked off of. But I'm like, you're not. They're
like,
not.
What the hell's the point?
Why would they not match? I don't understand that. And maybe that's because I'm playing this game from the very beginning of it. If I go play Paladins ranked right now, I'm ranked with what they rank me. I don't know what my MMR is, and I don't see these differences. I don't know if that's the difference between the situation.
No, the difference is they didn't
feel
have
that perception difference. I don't feel that perception difference when I go play Paladins, or if I go play these other games that have ranked. When I play this one, there's this huge perception difference, and I don't understand why it's like that.
It's placement matches. Every other game has placement matches for the most part, and
But this one does have it. Essentially, you just don't see it. It does. Hence why you're able to you're climbing faster.
Yeah, somebody in the chat, Magnificent, is saying the first ranked games that he did.
Going up with it.
Yeah, he's saying that the first ranked games he did, he went up against plats. He won, and he's only been going up against plats ever since. Even as a bronze.
Is the perception. So if you do placement matches,
that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm telling you. It's because there's no placement matches. So theoretically, yes, there's placement matches. Your first couple of games, they are trying to place you in your internal MMR,
but they don't tell people.
But the fact is, it doesn't show for your external. So if they just do the placement matches still and then give you an external MMR, so like, okay, you promoted from bronze straight up to plat based off your first 5 or 10 games, it wouldn't seem so bad because you're like, oh yeah, this person doesn't have a lot of games, but through his placement matches he's in plat, so this is actually not that big of a difference. And it's literally the one simple fix that, like I was saying from the very start of releasing ranked.
In my opinion, there are 2 fixes. Because the way that it works, the reason that you're like, oh, this is my first ranked game, why am I against plat players? Your internal MMR starts at like gold 1, right? Like the top of gold.
Right.
Like that's where your internal MMR begins.
So you can actually drop
curve. Yeah.
So that you can drop. Yes. And it's to give you some wiggle room so that when you're playing with other new players, let's say you play with a bunch of people who are actual bronze players, they throw your game, whatever. You don't go to -50 off the bat. You drop to 1450 or whatever, and now you can if you're good, you win more games. The reason that it feels so bad is because you can't jump ranks in this game. To get out of bronze, you have to win, whatever, 10 games, right?
You have to win a placement per division, like per tier.
Well, yeah, but it's like 10 total
annoying.
games to go from 0 VP to out of bronze. If you were allowed to jump if you win your first 3 games and you get out of bronze 3, if you were allowed to jump from bronze 3 to silver 3 because you won your first 4 games, you won all 4 of them, then that would make it feel a lot better. And then if you win 4 more games in silver 3 and you get promoted, and then it jumped you into gold 1 because now you're 8-0, it would make it feel a lot better. The way that it works is that it evens out your internal MMR, which at that point, if you won your first 8 games, your internal MMR would be like, approaching diamond, right? Whereas your visible rank, as of now, your visible rank would be like bronze 2.
Yeah.
And like, that's a bummer, right?
Yeah.
But if it jumped you ranks, it would allow it to even out that internal MMR plus your visible rank. It would even out faster. It would make it feel better. The other thing, in my opinion, that they could do is just show the MMR. Just let me see it. Like, why does it got to be hidden? Like, if I'm bronze 3, but I start at 1500 MMR, which is gold 1, that makes sense. If I win 20 games in a row and my visible rank as of right now, right, I would be like silver 1, but my MMR would be diamond 1, and it's like, okay, well, why?
I think that would just confuse people. Like if Omerida City were still showing it, for example, and they showed you both, you know how many complaints people would be like, "Yo, I'm plat, but this shit says I'm bronze. This shit's broken."
Yeah, but it wouldn't. It would, as long as you made it so that your rank could jump, it wouldn't be that bad. Because if your rank can jump, everybody would be in the visible rank they should be within like 25 games. I mean, if your rank could jump, you would get there instantly. Like if I load up Smite right now, if I were to win 20 games in a row, my visible rank would start at bronze 5 or bronze 3 or whatever. If I won 20 games in a row, my visible rank wouldn't be silver 2. My visible rank would be diamond 1 or masters, right? Like it would push me to where I'm supposed to be based on why I'm winning.
Going back to your first thing that they can do to fix it, right? And the issue I feel they have with that, because that's essentially what we're doing, right? Is you're climbing, if you're a really good gamer, right? Not me, somebody else, right? If you're a really good gamer, you come in, you play this game, and you start ranked. You get your rank, and you start playing. You get your 80% win rate. You're now a bronze 2, but you're playing against plats and diamonds, right? So for you to level up, right? I'm going to compare that person to me, right? I come in, I'm going to start playing ranked for my first time. I'm going to win whatever my win rate is in my normal stance. I'm going to essentially rank up faster than this person, because that person, their win rate's higher, but they're now playing against a more level playing field, and they're going to lose more, essentially, because they're playing against a higher, but they're stuck at bronze 2, slowly climbing up to silvers. Now they're up, and now they have to slowly climb this whole way through. They're fighting plats just to climb, while people who are, let's say, bronze, but they're getting better at the game, they're hitting their stride. Like, all right, they're now gold 2, gold 3, or gold 1, whatever, while this other person is still fighting because they're playing a harder player base.
Yeah, but that's not how it works, though. Assuming you played the same amount of games, the person with the higher win rate will always be a higher rank.
In the beginning, I don't think they will. I don't, because I think they're going to start falling off. Like once you hit that spot, like, hey.
Yeah, but once they lose like 3 games in a row, it'll drop them down to playing in gold lobbies where they dominate, and they'll start winning. And you lose less VP than you win, so you'll always go up. The person with the higher win rate will always be the higher rank, excluding bizarre outliers. If everyone played 50 games, and I had an 80% win rate and you had a 20% win rate, we're not going to be the same rank. If I played 1,000 games and had a 50% win rate, and you played 50 games and had a 50% win rate, I could be a significantly different rank than you.
Right? Yeah, like right now,
volume in there, it changes.
Yeah. Right now, plat is the only rank where I want to say you lose and win the same amount. Could be wrong. I think plat.
Depends, because if you go on a losing streak,
I think it depends on where your MMR is at.
It does.
because
depends.
I'm gold 2 right now, and I'm winning 15 and I'm losing 17.
Yes, if you start
Maybe
winning,
maybe
you'll
it's vice
gain
versa.
more.
Vice versa.
If
I'm
you
winning
start
17 and I'm losing 15. Sorry, that's what it is. If I win, I get 17. If I lose, I'm losing 15.
Yeah,
So,
if you're where you're
that's actually
supposed to
close
be
gold
at
too.
internally, you'll be even. Like you'll gain 18 and lose 18. But if it's vice versa, either way, you'll lose more or gain more than you should, depending on where you're at.
Okay, interesting. So after
think
basically it mellows out, that's when it starts evening out, is what you're saying? Like maybe like after 100 games or whatever the hell it may be?
Yeah, when you finally hit that spot where you are you fit, like, hey, this is where I fit. Oh, I mean, it's not even where you fit. I guess technically, I would say it's game based, right? I would say because like if I feel like if I go on my alt account I had, if I go start playing on that, because I've gotten better at this game, right? Since I've been playing, right? And I felt it. So, but if I were to take my alt account, which is on like a level 3, whatever actual account, and I played it and got it up to level 20 to where I could play rank on it, I feel like I could jump in and I could take advantage of that early, VP, positive VP, because I could win those games that I couldn't win, that I was struggling to win when rank first came out and it was a very low player base. I feel like I can take advantage of that now, and I could climb a little faster, and I could probably be somewhere more like plat 3, gold 1 instead of being the gold 2 that I'm at. I'm not saying I'm that much better. That's what I'm saying. At gold 1, plat 3, I feel like I could get hit there and still be at a better positive VP minus VP section than I am in right now.
Okay.
Confusing.
It's super intricate, and be mindful, everybody listening and watching this. These are just educated guesses, right? I just sent you guys a picture, and
Actually, guess is the best way to say that, because we have had conversations. Well, maybe not all of us, but I know I've had conversations with our boy Jay Shreds, and getting a little more information on how things are working. And I do know that it's something they're looking at, and they're looking at as they're getting data as they're going, and seeing where things can be improved and how things can be improved to make things better. So it's not. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that they're saying it's an issue and they're going to fix it. I'm saying they see the complaints and they're looking at it to see what possibly can be done.
I mean, it's not something that you can just go in and be like, oh yeah, we're going to change this and it'll be perfect, because let's be honest, matchmaking is probably the hardest thing every game has to try and deal with. I mean, it's never going to be perfect. It's always going to be, oh, this is good enough. I don't think anybody's ever figured out the perfect matchmaking system.
Yep. The endless chat. Empty Row, do you think there will be a rank reset after the last original hero? I don't. Here's the thing. I think the full release was their opportunity to do a reset, right? I think at best, if they do like a soft reset whenever seasons come around, or whenever they want to start implementing rank seasons and stuff, maybe at that point, but I think like a full reset and restarting the grind, that might be something like, just put it up to the community, see what people think. But I wouldn't want them to do a full reset like on a season or something.
I think Q2 will probably be their best bet to do it next year. That's
what
I think whenever they do
why
they will
Q2?
Do a full reset. I don't know. I just don't feel like they're gonna reset by the end of the year, or to start the new year off. Maybe they can do like, oh, Happy New Year, new rank season. But we haven't had 24/7 rank yet, so I don't know.
think.
Do you guys think we ever will?
24/7 ranked?
We
Is
will.
that your question, Windu?
We will, yeah.
Yeah.
We have to, right?
Well, like what indication have they showed us that they want to go to 24/7?
The fact that they haven't made a change to rank at all. I think they're just getting ready for the big push.
I mean, I could see that argument.
They're like, okay, we're gonna get ready for 24/7. There's no need for us to keep improving times. We're just gonna wait, and it just here's 24/7.
I think a reset would be good, and I think if they were gonna do it, if the next original hero after Skylar, if that is like the last hero of this season, if that's what they're calling it, then yeah, I would imagine that we get some kind of reset after that. Because to give us ranked rewards, they're gonna have to reset it.
Yeah.
So if that's the end of the season, it would make sense that you get your ranked rewards at the end of the season. So if they're gonna do that, then they should reset it. If they're gonna reset it this one time, because the beginning of ranked was so fucked with the way that everything worked, right? With BP gain, loss, etc. The system was flawed. I would be okay with a hard reset. I think hard resets, generally speaking, are not good. One time, I would be down with a full hard reset everyone to the baseline in ranked. I would be fine with that.
I wish Pred came out when I was in high school playing games for 10 hours a day instead of when I was 28 working 2 jobs. Hey, man. Life hits us hard, man.
Throw some feet pics or something. I don't know.
Yo, chill out, bro. No, but I mean, shoot. Like, you got to think about it. The ones that were here for Paragon, that shit was almost 10 years ago, right? I played Predecessor for the first time 2019. And I bought a house and had 2 kids since then. And then we hit full release. You know what I mean? So, I mean, shit happens. We get older, bro. At this point, we're slowly becoming boomers. Pinzo's the only young one in here.
Yeah. Sorry,
and even
guys.
then, you're getting older too, bro. Yeah, but you're getting old. You getting old too, bro.
Yeah, not really though. I'm in my prime.
I have to ask a question. I have to ask a question. Rank reset. I haven't played a ranked season on any other game, so I don't know how this works. On a ranks for a new season or whatever, does it have to be a full reset, or does a soft reset work in that situation?
Yeah, it depends exactly how the soft reset works. A lot of games do it differently.
Okay.
Yeah, some games will just push you down like 2 ranks from where you're at, for example.
So when you guys were talking about the, a reset's needed, Pinzo, you said a reset's needed. Are we saying full reset or a soft reset?
This one time, because of the system being flawed, it's the first season, etc. I would say this one time, hard reset it, full reset, everyone back to 0. Most of the time, I think, every 6 months, or if they do, like 3 seasons per year, just do a soft reset at the end of each season, that kind of thing. I think is normally fine. I think once their system is working properly all the way through, then it doesn't matter. Hard resets don't really do much at that point. But because the system was kind of fucked when it came out, I think that a hard reset would be fine for this one.
Okay. Gotcha.
So.
All right. Well.
And this is pre-ranked, right? Sorry. Before we end here,
preseason rank, yeah.
It is preseason rank officially. Okay, got you. Yeah. So yeah, I mean maybe.
I do want to thank you guys for coming here and hanging out. I love having these conversations. I feel bad that we weren't able to bring these to the communities more often this last month and a half. It feels like, but I always love having this conversation with you guys. So yeah. Hey, when's Predecast? Hey, when's Predecast? It's like, well, I'm working on it, man. I promise you, I'm working on it. Logistics failed us on this a little bit, but it is what it is.
We'll try to make it more frequent. We'll see how the patches go, because ironically,
I mean, as long as this patch hits, I mean, next Wednesday or Thursday, as this patch hits on Tuesday, we should be able to have a podcast talking about the patch and the patch notes next Wednesday or Thursday, depending on what's going on. I can't guarantee we'll have Robbie in that situation, because again, we're trying to get Robbie at a decent time. If we do get Robbie on, it'll, just for you guys to know, it'll probably be on like a Friday in a spot that we can have an earlier show, because Robbie is over across the pond, so he's up later. So we try to have like an earlier show. But right now, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays for me, I can't be on any earlier than 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that's late for Robbie. So
yeah, well, we do try to be considerate, but they've also been hella troopers in the past. I'm gonna just throw that one out there. Like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. He's like, yo, I set up an alarm clock just to wake up for Predcast, like that sort of shit.
Yep.
So, and that goes for multiple other staff. So shout out to the devs that have made it on here, and the devs that haven't made it on here, you know who the fuck you are. Shit,
you're next.
We gotta have a chat. You know who you are.
I need a Goldberg. Who's next?
That's dating yourself.
Yeah.
What do you mean? That's younger than Street Sharks. Don't even.
All I'm saying is that's a more relatable reference. That's
you
all
guys
I'm saying.
got the reference. You guys got the reference. You didn't get the Street Sharks reference. So obviously, I'm not as old with that reference that I am with Street Sharks.
That's you don't get a lot of that.
Pinto said, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, bro. Like, oh shit, but yeah, guys, appreciate everybody tuning in. We're about that 2-hour mark, so we'll go ahead and end it. Don't forget, we do stream these live on the Bearded Wolverines channel. We do post them on YouTube after the fact on my channel, Windu the Mace, and we'll try to get some more podcasts out here for you guys. We really do like doing these. The only reason we at one point stopped doing them weekly was because the updates slowed down, and ever since a little, like, I want to say actually 2024, they've been a little bit sporadic just because of updates and schedules and shit like that. It's been a little weird. Hopefully we can get some consistency going. Maybe Predecessor goes back to every 2 weeks, still do an update. Who knows? Maybe one day.
Okay, buddy.
Okay, buddy.
But yo, let's go ahead and do our outros. The same order that we introduced ourselves, if we could. Tell people a little bit about yourself, any exciting things coming up, where to follow you, and let's leave them with a little piece of advice from us to the community. Let's bring that back. Little words of wisdom to the community at the end. Go ahead, F6.
My name is F6. I stream over on Twitch, but you can primarily catch me casting this weekend for PCC. We got Swiss stages. The battle begins again, and that's going to be fun. You get to cast some, you get to see a bunch of people from the community kind of just hang out, see some competitive games, see how to really play the game, and you get to see Pinzo die a lot. But other than that,
what was my KD last event, F6?
Actually, you did do good last event, so I can't knock you for that. So you're right.
That's all. The 10% recognition is all I'm asking for.
Okay, true. You're right. I got you. 10%. That's your 10% for the year, buddy.
Thank you.
But
he was also 10% kill participation in that match as well, so that's why his KDA was good.
No, he was good last event.
I was cooking last PCC. Okay.
I'm kidding.
But yeah, message to the community. Relax, take a breather, drink some water, hydrate, go outside, touch grass. 1 week delay won't hurt you. Every game's have its problems. Obviously, keep going. If you have a problem with something, say it. But try not to get too much in the heat for it. But yeah, that's all I got.
When is PCC? Like, when can people watch that on the Twitch?
Saturday, Sunday. This Saturday, Sunday, October 5th and 6th, 11 a.m. EST is when we start broadcast. It should end roughly around 3 p.m., 4 p.m. EST, depending on how long these matches go. Because broadcast, sometimes people take 30 minutes to play the match, or sometimes it takes like an hour. So
you won't see me there. I'll be coaching my son's football game. Sorry.
Okay.
Really, at 11 a.m. is when he plays this game. So
you can watch the VOD where we put it up on YouTube. No worries.
There you go. Pinzo.
Yeah, I'm Pinzo. You guys can catch me Pinzo on all my socials. I stream on Twitch every day. I upload on YouTube every day. You guys can catch me playing PCC this upcoming weekend. I'm the mid laner for Mind the Gap. Our team, I don't know. I don't think we're that bad. I'll keep it 100. I think we're solid. So
you guys are top 8.
Hey, okay, chill.
On 8 teams.
I didn't like the connotation of that F6.
What do you mean?
I didn't like the way you said that.
Only make it top 8.
Sorry.
You
Yeah,
guys are
I didn't
top
like
8
the way you said
out of
that.
18.
Okay, sorry. I don't know how else to say that.
I'm top one team F6.
Okay.
Top
Did you
one.
see Imports team? They literally brought out all the EU heavy hitters.
Yeah, I'm number 1 mid laner though. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
I'll
Alright,
just carry. I just gap everybody else. Team name for a reason.
Okay.
No, but yeah, I don't know. As far as notes to the community, yeah, I don't know, man. Like, just take a chill pill. It really ain't that deep. Like, I mean, I'll keep it 100. Like, nobody is gonna come to your house because you did bad in a ranked game. Okay, like it really is not that deep. Some games you're on, some games you're off. You have a bad game, dude, just feel free, type in chat, be like, hey yo dog, I'll be real,
It's not it.
I didn't do anything this game. Okay, this one's on me, right? A lot of people will actually appreciate you taking some accountability when you're playing bad, right? And it's not every game, right? Some games not always your fault. Some games someone else makes a bad play, you die for it, whatever, right? But if you're having a bad game, that's fine, dude. My bad. This one's on me, right? Go next. It ain't that deep.
And if Pinzo's not playing his daily games like he normally plays, he's golfing with his dad. So give him
I did
that
go
time.
golfing with my father last week. That is true.
That's true. So,
My dad's almost as old as you, Bearded.
Ooh.
almost.
Yeah, he turned 62
Ooh.
last week.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, can't all be as well wised as I am.
Ooh.
It's all good. All right, guys. Beautiful Read, your Michigan Wonder, and you can catch me Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday playing on Twitch. Mondays college football, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays Pred, and the end of Thursdays college football. From there though, I'm depending if I get a cool quadra like I did, you can check it out on TikTok. I'll post a video depending on how things go. If it's enough to move me, like, hey, I want to edit this down, this was really good, I'll take my time, edit it down. But I don't have time to edit normally, so that's why you don't see me put stuff out there. But other than that, my information for the community is don't build Equinox as your first fucking item if you're playing fucking carry. She's a fucking mighty, you do no damage, and then wonder why you do no damage. All right, don't do it. All right, if you want to do that shit, go in the fucking standard match. Don't do that in ranked. Get out of my ranked matches with that shit. But other than that, have fun, enjoy the game, and if you're not having fun, go play something different for a little bit.
Go Marshall first for the attack speed.
Chill out. Actually, playing multiple games at the same time is healthy. I'm just throw that one out there. But so guys,
football, I'm loving it.
Yeah, for sure. Just a little de-stressor here. But so again, I'm Windy the Mace. We're gonna upload this video on YouTube after the fact. Even if you guys watch it live, if you guys could go leave a like on YouTube and leave a comment, that'd be super cool. And in its own, just gonna try and post more regularly on the YouTube. I know there's a couple of like how-to videos that I used to do back in the day. Been thinking about bringing those back, so I might actually do a little bit more of that. And my advice to the community would actually, it's going to be twofold to two types of people. If you're the type of person, shout out to the homies, that can only play one ranked game a day, rank might not be for you. I'm gonna just throw that one out there. Like, real talk, it's better to just play a couple brawl games in there. You know what I mean? I'm gonna just throw it out there. Like, one ranked game and it goes south, and then now you got a negative view on the game, and maybe rank isn't for you because of your schedule, right? And then, side note on the other side of the coin, if you're the type of individual that goes into a match, can only play steel, and now is throwing your fucking brains out in the middle of a game because you can only play steel, maybe rank isn't for you either. I'm gonna be real with you. Like, just because you got heroes unlocked doesn't mean you should be in ranked if 99% of your games are with one hero. I'm gonna just throw that one out there. You know? So,
hallelujah.
Moral of the story, rank isn't for everybody. If you guys are having fun with it, awesome. If you're not having fun with it, quite frankly, just don't do ranked, because you might just be ruining it for somebody else. Like the amount of individuals that go into ranked and throw games, or the amount of individuals that go into rank and like they'll just start talking shit because somebody's in their team from like a game 3 days ago or something. Like it's some petty ass ex-girlfriend shit. I'm gonna be real with y'all. So just rank isn't for some of y'all. I'm gonna throw it out there. Casual's there for a reason. Brawl is there for a reason. You know, don't ruin other people's experiences just because you don't, you know, you don't get to have a good time. But yeah, guys,
you almost had me speaking in
Steel
tongues,
out there.
man.
Because first of all, Steel can be a one trick. You could play him in 3 roles, arguably 4.
Yeah, and then the moment you don't have him, you're a 0 trick.
Yeah, you know what? You just shoot.
He said, "Touche." Oh, guys, we appreciate everybody tuning in. Again, we'll try to keep you guys posted as far as when the next episode of Predcast is going to come out. So just be on the lookout on socials, specifically Twitter. That's usually where we post a lot of stuff, right? As far as announcements and everything. But again, thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. And much love, homies. Peace.
Peace.